What's up, everybody? Fuck, it's a new week. New fucking week, man. Mondays hit hard, bro. I don't know what it is about Mondays. They hit hard, dude. I hope everybody's doing good. Yeah, we're still covering the Trump fucking fallout because that seems to be the most interesting thing to talk about right now. Hope everybody's doing good. What's up? Our man. 16 Kings. What's up, everybody? How you guys doing? Hope everybody's doing good on this beautiful Monday. I am fucking tired today, but I'm going to get past it. I'm going to get past it. Today was a day where I'm like, damn, I'd like to just go to sleep and not do a show. But nope, here I am. We're doing a show. We're doing a fucking show. So, you know, I talked about it last night. There's not a lot of people who are covering for this Trump bullshit. Even some of the most diehard MAGA people are starting to turn, which I never thought I'd see it be this bad. But you can always count on old Charlie Kirk here to get Trump's back. I think some of these influencers, they're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place because they've made their whole career supporting Trump. What are they supposed to do now? They're supposed to turn their back on Trump? Their whole career is based on the fact that they're like MAGA, fucking ultra MAGA Trump supporters. So people like Charlie Kirk, like, they're kind of trying to walk the line of being like, yeah, the Epstein files, it's a bunch of weird stuff, but then also be like, oh, but we got to trust him, guys.
Short Stories for Adults super chatted $2 just to get this shit started, cause why not?
Thank you, brother. Yeah, let's get it started. Yeah. Smash the thumbs up. Let's get started. So let's see what, this is the thing that I always get annoyed when people start saying shit like this in politics. Oh, just trust him. Oh, you got to have faith. It's like, what the fuck? No. That should not even be part of the fucking equation. Trust him. Just trust him, guys. No. This is not a trust thing. This is not a faith thing. You're not my God. And when you keep fucking up like this, you know, I'm not going to just trust you. I'm going to start questioning you. I'm going to trust you even less. But listen to Charlie Kirk here. He knows what's right. He knows what we should do.
Honestly, I'm done talking about Epstein for the time being. I'm going to trust my friends in the administration. I'm going
to trust my friends in the administration. Oh, it's a trust thing here, guys. It's a trust. Anytime someone's like, trust me, sometimes, you know, people will say trust me and they're actually not lying to you. But most of the time when you get a just trust me, bro, at that point you gotta go, okay, sure. And then you do the exact opposite, right? You don't trust. And in this case, you've done nothing to earn our trust, especially with the Epstein shit. So why should we trust you?
going to trust my friends in the government to do what needs to be done, solve it, balls in their hands. I've said plenty.
The government's your friend.
This last weekend. So if you guys want to see my commentary on it, that's fine. Honestly.
Guys, I just wanted to show one of the few clips I could find of somebody doing, I mean, you see more of this shit online. You see people posting this type of shit. Just trust, man. Just trust Trump. You got to trust him. But most people are not going along with this. Let's see. I think the next one is Alex. Alex is, a lot of people like to talk shit about Alex. He's a shill. He's this or that. He seems pretty right on the money with this shit.
Ghislaine Maxwell.
This is also a compilation of all the former, or there's still probably Trump supporters, but all the Trump supporters that are not going along with this.
Holds the key to so much of this. Ghislaine Maxwell is alive. She's currently in prison. She's serving a 20-year sentence for trafficking children to nobody, remember? Her sentence, of course, is sort of a proxy. What they were going to do to Epstein, they're now doing to Maxwell. Here's what I found out yesterday. There is no further information at the FBI. The FBI doesn't really house trial evidence. The FBI doesn't prosecute people. The FBI refers for prosecution, but the Department of Justice are the prosecutors. They make the final decisions. The vast majority of the Epstein evidence currently resides inside of a place called the Southern District of New York. I was told yesterday on a phone call by a federal official.
Didn't they already get that shit though? So is that that's the cope now? It's still the SDNY? They're still holding everything? I thought they already got it. I thought they delivered a truckload of fucking documents. What happened? Somebody said, I forgot who said this. I think somebody commented this, that Bondi might not actually be the bad guy in this one. I don't know how much to buy that, but when you think about it, Bondi talked big about maybe Bondi literally thought she was going to release the files. Maybe she thought, oh boy, we're going to push all this shit out. We're going to release it all. And then somehow Trump was like, oh, you can't release this. Or they found way too much shit about Trump in there. And they're like, yeah, we can't release this. So at this point, yeah, Bondi, Cash Patel, Dan Bongino, they all need to go. But the buck stops with Trump. In my opinion, it's Trump. And we'll get to this in a little bit. Apparently, they are going to release the files that didn't exist. There's nothing to see. Now, Lara Trump saying they are going to release them. We're going to get to that in a little bit.
What do you want us to release? You know, there's bad images. You know, there's bad and nasty stuff there. I don't need that. Nobody needs any abuse material on the internet. That's not what we're asking for. The bloody and insulting idea that we're all like out here calling for the release.
Bloody? Did you go full Indian on us? You bloody fucker!
Of child abuse material
is
probably the most insulting thing about all of this, actually. That's what.
Damn, he got so angry he went full fucking Indian.
We're like ravenous for. Shut up!
You bloody fucker!
So angry because it's like attacking the base. No, what we're saying is that our own FBI has this photo. We've played it. We've shown it a million times.
Yeah, I know a lot of people are watching Kill Tony. That's why I was thinking about going live at 10. I might next time on Mondays just go live at 10 because I know Kill Tony kills like my reach because there's so many fans of mine are a fan of Kill Tony's, yada yada. So I might push it till 10 on Mondays when Kill Tony's on. We'll see.
There's a bin of hard drives with yellow evidence tape wrapped around them, put there by Jeffrey Epstein. Okay, sure, there's probably some very naughty and very nasty photos on here. Jeffrey Epstein was a horrible person, but that's not all that's on there. How many terabytes of information are on all those hard drives? You're telling me that that's all that's on there? I don't believe you.
I'm beyond.
How much would you bet there's something about Trump on there? And that's what this is all about.
I don't have a horse.
By the way, there's this old clip of Trump on Stern talking about how he used to walk backstage in the beauty pageants because he owned the place and he could like, oh, it's not a good look, man. This is not a good look, especially with the shit that Trump said in the past. It just, yeah, we'll get to that too. We got a lot coming up.
In this race, what I have is common sense. And what I have is maybe a bunch of people hyping this up for a very long time, but then I need somebody to say, hey, these people were hyping this for this reason, and here, let me show you how that was done. I want to believe. I want to believe in the good. So help me, but I don't know how you prove a negative. How do you prove there is no evidence?
I absolutely agree. If all these people like me,
especially when you just said you're sitting on a mountain of fucking evidence, like just a couple days before, you're like, we have all the documents, and then years of going around saying, oh, he was working, and then all of a sudden, oh, sorry, we don't have anything, guys. Oh, it's all gone. There's nothing to see here.
Me are all upset about this Epstein client list, and it's all been for naught all these years. Then help me believe that, you know what, you've been wrong this entire time, and actually there's some really good things out there. And if it's the opposite, show us that evidence too. Right now, all we have to go on is the word and trust of the United States government, and they don't tell us anything. So this is what we found, in the documents we're going to give you are going to be, mostly redacted, but the information's there. We just can't show it to you. You got to help us out a little bit. There's a lot of good in this country, but you got to help us out a little bit.
Travis, I don't think anyone could have said it better than that.
Look, Trump, you're making Travis in South Dakota cry, bro. Are you happy? Are you happy, Trump?
Thank you.
We're the constituents. We have a right to do this. We have a duty to do this. So I am beyond blown away. I am beyond concerned.
As somebody said, TDS alive and well in 2025. If you're talking about TDS in the sense that all these people who helped get Trump elected, or all of a sudden they have TDS, I don't know. Or maybe you're saying that like Trump is the one that's deranged this time. I don't know what you're saying, Ryan, but there's no TDS here, bro. You don't know what show you're watching if you think there's TDS here. But there might be some cult behavior from you, Ryan, if you can't see how fucking, I mean, this is, in any way you look at it, from a political stance, from like political gamesmanship, any way you look at it, this was the worst fucking move you could have ever made. So, trying to cover for it is pretty fucking stupid.
And they are clearly with Maxwell right at the right time. I'll give you the list. Well, I thought it didn't exist. And as if you believe anything from her. And again, the Democrats have had the files forever, which this DOJ under Trump had to go seize and get, which we broke with Boyle, the FBI whistleblower, the day before that came out. So I want to believe in Trump, and the jury's out right now. But this is a fiasco of fiascos. So no, I'm not going to shut up. I'm not going to stop asking questions. And I wish Trump would stop telling people to stop asking questions. Do you know how the Streisand effect works? I mean, I hate to be giving you advice how to cover something up. I don't even want to do that, but it's like, what are you doing? It's like
You know what the Streisand effect is, right, guys? It's like Streisand had a problem with what are they called? Photographers, tabloid people showing up, and like the more she would complain about it, like the worse it would get. So it's like if you don't want people to talk about it, like don't tell people not to talk about it. That's the Streisand effect. Tell people don't ask questions, and you'll guarantee people will start fucking asking questions. So when Trump comes out and goes, "Why are you still talking about this? Jeffrey Epstein? Really? No, let's talk about something else that's all the way back in 2020. Then he starts bringing up like fucking complaints he has from shit that happens like 5 fucking years ago. But the Epstein thing, that's off limits. Like it's dumb, dude. It's such a bad look, man. For me, I can't help but just go, dude, there's gotta be something in those files that you don't want out that is about Trump. If it was just about Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, they wouldn't give a fuck. So there's got to be something in there about Trump. Or maybe they are protecting the Clintons and all them. Who knows? But that would be even more unbelievable. Oh, Alex is going to start crying again too? Come on, Alex. Come on, man. Everybody's crying over this shit. Dude, this is politics. This is blood sports, bro. You gotta get the warrior out of you. Where's fucking Liver King? Liver King, you need to go over and talk to Alex. Teach him how to get that warrior spirit going again, bro. But yeah, don't make him crazy. Don't give him any of the meth. Don't do that. But you know, maybe he can eat like a raw cow or something, dude. Because there's too many people getting emotional about this. You're not gonna make the best decisions when you get emotional over shit.
They say who the gods would destroy, they first make mad. And as our founders said, we can never be overtaken from outsiders. We have to destroy ourselves from within. And I know the Democrats are pure evil, and I just need Trump not to behave like he is.
Oh yeah, for all you InfoWars fans that are commenting on my clip, this is where you go watch Alex. So all of you who don't want to hear me pause and add commentary, I know the internet's a difficult place to navigate for some of you guys, but you just go to X and then you search his page, or you can just type in real Alex Jones, and then you don't have to have me interrupt, guys. I know the internet's a difficult thing to figure out.
All right, I'm doing what I have to do. My integrity's king. We're 8-9 days into this whole Epstein
That was a long one,
attempted
25 minutes?
gaslighting by the DOJ, cover-up exploding. It endangers the entire Trump administration and by extension America and Western civilization and by extension the entire world. I want Trump to succeed desperately. I support 95% of what Trump's doing. I think he's a great man. From all research, he's not connected to Epstein and any illegal activities. But all the 180s and all the flip-flopping that we've seen has blown this into a new level of Streisand effect. Now, yesterday, it came out in the corporate press that Ghislaine Maxwell in federal prison for human trafficking, Epstein's accomplice, known Mossad operative, MI6 as well, that she's ready to release the list. And, she's brought her case to the Supreme Court and all the rest of this. Number one, I don't believe anything that comes out of her mouth. She is on record a human trafficker.
What if she comes out and says, yeah, definitely Trump was involved, or definitely Trump's on the list. He had something, we trafficked women to Trump. If she says something like that, everybody's going to come out and be like, oh, of course, she's working for the Democrats. The Democrats planted this, blah, 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 blah. I don't know. I'd like to hear what the fuck she has to say. Is she to be trusted? No. But I'd still like to hear what she has to say.
And you don't take somebody that's in prison and then take what they have to say later. So, yeah, I'm defending Trump right there. But you look at this headline, the deep state is attempting to blackmail Trump. It doesn't mean they've got something, but they have had control, like Trump said, the Democrats, of the file. They took out whatever they wanted and added whatever they wanted into it. So that's true. So a bunch of people are pissed off on me at one side saying, look, you're defending.
And someone also said, how do you know if it's not there? How do you know it was ever there? How do you know what they took out if it's been taken out?
Trump when he said on True Social 2 days ago that they've had the file just like.
To me, that's basically an admittance that, hey, it's mostly Trump all over this. And is it possible that they took out everything else but mentions of Trump as a fuck you to Trump's incoming administration? Possibly. But, say, hey, this has obviously been tampered with, and they only left the evidence that makes Trump look bad. But here it is. We all know Trump was friends with Epstein until 2004 or whatever, when there was a incident at Mar-a-Lago. And then his base would have trusted him because they're like, at least he's releasing everything he has. And of course, the Democrats were up to some funny business. But no, none of that is going to work anymore. You fucked it up when you were like, oh, he definitely killed himself and there's no more evidence and no one else will be prosecuted. Case closed. Stop asking questions. You fucked it up. That should have never been your response. Politically, it was the dumbest fucking thing you could do. Even if you are a fucking pedophile in the files, and all that shit. That wasn't the right move, dude. That was dumb. It was dumb. God, and that's what makes me so furious. Like, how is he doing such dumb shit? Like, who's calling the shots? Or is Trump like losing his mind? Or was he always this fucking dumb and just had good PR? I don't know, man. It's mind-boggling. It's bewildering to see what's going on right now. For me, it is anyway.
Like Russiagate or anything, they falsify stuff. You can't believe it. That's a real issue. They could have done that. I don't know they did that. I'm simply wargaming every angle of this. But then you look at all the bizarre behavior of them raiding the FBI offices, the FBI raiding itself in March, getting all those documents and videos, them telling us there's 14 terabytes and hundreds of new victims and Epstein raping kids. And now Bondi's like, you know what? You just want to see child porn. You just want us to release child porn. Nobody ever said that. And, Trump at that press conference last Tuesday, you just asked a question about him working for an intelligence agency, Epstein. You're standing on the graves of dead kids. How dare you? I mean, this behavior, you couldn't make people think you were guilty more. Trump's enemies couldn't do something like this. So I'm godsmacked. I am dumbfounded at a certain level.
It's a good point. Like, Trump's enemies couldn't have fucking hurt him as bad as he's hurting himself right now. I mean, this is, I go on Twitter now and it's like, it looks like old Twitter, old X, where it was all just, TDS. But the TDS this time is coming from fucking MAGA being, oh man, I've never seen a fall this fast, a fall from grace that was this quick, this overnight. It's fucking insane.
But now that she's come out and done this, and you got Dershowitz saying, oh, you better pardon her and all the rest of this. But Dershowitz like, release the file. I'm not in it. Well, okay. Well, what is in the file? How does Dershowitz know? I'm not saying Dershowitz is guilty. There's never been any evidence of that. I'm saying, how does he know the Democrats didn't add something to that? I mean, Adam Schiff had to get pardoned because in the J6 fake.
I think what Dershowitz knows is because he sued Virginia Giuffre because she made statements that Dershowitz was involved with some Epstein shit. I forget that he was one of the guys she was trafficked to. And so when he sued her, he must have got discovery and got like all the information of like everybody she was accusing. So he knows, I think what he knows is everybody that Virginia Giuffre, God damn, I hate her name. So hard to say. He knows everybody she was accusing.
Committee, he created fake emails.
I think I might be getting it wrong, but from what I looked into, I think that's the list he's talking about that he knows of.
Fake speeches and fake phone calls of Trump. Remember all that? The fake mafia calls? I mean, when I testified for the J6 committee, I said, you're not a real committee, you're criminals. And I take the fifth, not because I'm hiding something, but because you will claim I committed perjury and you're frauds. And I took the fifth 98 times. At the start and the middle, they kept saying, why don't you answer questions? I said, again, you're criminals, Liz Cheney, all of them. Notice they destroyed all the video of that because it's so embarrassing of me right in front of them to their faces telling them that. Now, you're never going to see that because they destroyed it, which is another crime. So I'm not going to sit here and pretend I know all the answers, exactly what's going on here. I just call balls and strikes, as I've said. But we've got a major issue here.
Oh, and now Trump's turning the frogs gay, dude. Now it's fucking Trump turning the frogs gay now. I mean, it's not atrazine, but fluoride. I think we got another video. Alex is pissed off because Maha, RF Kennedy, was they were like trying to get fluoride taken out of the water, and then Trump's DOJ blocked it. Like, nope, gotta leave the fluoride in the water, boys.
And
can't even get that. We're getting so little, dude. Can't even get the fluoride taken out of the fucking water.
Ghislaine Maxwell.
Can we please just stop turning the frogs fucking gay? Can we please do that at least? At least.
Jeffrey Epstein were on record Mossad. So was her dad. You can look all this up. And so with the huge Israel lobby coming in right now, the Trump administration and all the rest of it, the Democrats have been basically defeated politically. Trump finally got rid of a bunch of them in the bureaucracy. But now Israel is sliding in with Netanyahu to try a hostile takeover of America. That's undoubted right now. And that's breaking everywhere. And that's great news. Tucker Carlson and others exposing it. And I've never said Israel runs everything or is the worst thing in the world or, it's one monolithic thing. I'm not even against Israel's existence. But now Israel is trying to get us into a full war with Iran and by extension Russia and China. And Israel is exerting itself. You see all the signs. So now I'm like, yeah, Israel is making a move on America. China's been the main threat. But now Israel is so heavily engaged here that I've got to just say I'm a loyal American. And yeah, Israel's trying to move on America. So, and it's clear, all the evidence points towards Israel, Netanyahu using threats of what's in the file. Not that Trump did something, but he's been in reports the FBI put out. Something is there. And I told you over a week ago, I said, it's Trump, not Bondi, not Patel, not Bongino doing this. It's Trump. And Trump on Truth Social and now in statements has said, yeah, it's me. I want to move on. I want this shut down. So they are trying to blackmail Trump. And he's acting like they've got something. So I just have to be honest about it. And I'm going to play a clip here in a moment, or I'll post it here in the same post after this live feed, of Benny Johnson knocking out of the park today and saying, you better have press conferences. You better explain how the judicial and legislative and executive process works out. You better explain how investigations work. You better explain that the files are with the prosecution in New York where Epstein died. You better explain that you recommend cases.
But didn't they get the files, though? That's what I thought that was what the delay was at first. Remember when they gave that stupid dossier to all those influencers, and they're like, oh, it's because the SDNY is holding stuff, and we're gonna get, and then like a couple days later or the next day, like they delivered a truckload of files, but now they're still over there. Well, which one is it? Oh, maybe I'm remembering wrong, but I could have sworn there was a truckload of files that she got from there. So they didn't send all of them. It's not adding up, man.
You don't run cases. He's absolutely right. What Benny Johnson says is true. And then what Glenn Beck said, he said, listen, we can't lose our soul over this. Yeah, we get Trump's doing a lot of good, but we know this is all there. We know that there was blackmail. We know there were intelligence agencies. We know this video of him from around the corner doesn't show that he didn't kill himself. We know this, so you're insulting our intelligence. And then to imply we want child porn released, exactly, as Bonnie and others have done, is just totally outrageous. So that's where I am on this right now. And I'll play the Beck clip, or post a Beck clip here as well. But then you've got Charlie Kirk, who I think is a great guy and so much to get Republican voters on. I love him. He's like, I trust Trump. I trust the administration. I'm not asking any more questions. And I'm not talking about Epstein anymore. Well, that's the message I reported last week. The Carl Seraphin, I got him reports myself from people, but he also had his reports and some public reports of major talk show hosts, influencers getting calls saying your access can be cut off at the White House, Susie Wall stuff, if you don't stop, and the FBI calling people. Well, that's a cover-up. So we don't want to be aiding the Democrats here, but we're not in a cult like Democrats that go along with corruption. So here's Benny Johnson. I'll post it in this, under it. Here is...
Was Trump expecting that? Was Trump expecting like, oh, everybody's going to be like the Democrats and they're just going to rally around me no matter what I do? I can tell them to stop talking about Epstein and shame them for even asking questions about Epstein. And everybody would just bow down and be like, oh, Trump's 100D chess. Everybody just listen and trust. That's like probably a tiny sliver of his supporters that are willing to do that right now. Man, I'll say it again. I have never seen a downfall this quick. Just overnight, dude. And if I was like privy to their plans and they would have had me in the meeting the day before, they're like, this is what we're going to do. We're going to say there's no, Epstein didn't killed himself, definitely committed suicide, and there's no files, and just stop asking questions. And I'd be like, are you crazy? Do you want to destroy everything you've spent fucking, 10 years now building plus? You want to destroy this whole movement and make everybody that supported you look stupid? Is that what you want to do? Like, how could you not see that this was going to be the worst fucking move you could have ever made? And it's just, it boggles the mind, dude.
Beck, Benny Johnson keeping his soul, Beck keeping his soul. And I'm not saying Charlie Kirk's losing his soul here.
I think his approval rating's already going down, Jeffrey, and I think it will continue to go down unless they do a 180 and all of a sudden start releasing more data, more documents.
I'm not going to question my friends.
Like if all of a sudden tomorrow there's like a fucking huge fucking document that has all, pretty much all the fucking information they have, besides, the CP material and victims' names. That should be just you should black it out and you put victim right next to it so everybody knows this is why this is blacked out. This is the victim's information. That's all you need to do. But everything else we should be able to get. This is like our government. We cannot. How are we supposed to, as voters, decide the course of our government when we can't even know what the fuck is going on? Like, it's a big deal to not have transparency on things like this. We need to have transparency on pretty much every fucking thing, except for like a tiny sliver of like, okay, well, we can't tell you exactly where our troops are moving, like shit like that. Obviously, like real national security shit that's, in the moment needs to be kept secret. Everything else, we need transparency. Otherwise, we're just blindly moving around in this fucking republic, not knowing what direction to go because we don't know what the fuck is going on, dude.
I mean, if my wife didn't show up for 2 days and just show back up at the house, I'd say, where you been? If I had a business partner I'd known for 20 years, a great person, all of a sudden a bunch of money's messing up, I would say, where the money is. I mean,
no. Just trust him, Alex. Just trust and have faith that he would never rob you, even though all your money's gone.
When people start telling you don't ask questions, you got a problem. Remember all the New York Times articles, Washington Post articles? Asking questions is bad. Doing your own research is bad. No, it's good. So I don't want to be focused on this. But everything Trump and them have done in the last few months with Bongino and them, like during the headlights on that Fox interview, has triggered all this. And I said, like, if you want it to go away or you don't think you can prosecute people or it's a national security issue, I'm not defending that, but I understand that. Just shut up. Shut up. Instead, Trump, hey, I've done a great job. True Social, leave it alone, drop it. They're going to have congressional hearings now. They're coming after you. I've never seen such a self-inflicted wound.
True.
So Benny Johnson nails it. Glenn Beck nails it. And Charlie Kirk,
Marco super chatted $1.99.
Yeah,
we need another Alex Stein interview.
The format, it's weird because the format of this show does so much better when it's just me doing this. Whenever I interview people, like the last time I did Alex, it was like nobody fucking showed up. It's weird. I need to figure out a way to keep this format of the show, but then bring in a guest so that I have the same format, but just a guest is here with me reacting to whatever's going on. I got to figure it out. But yeah. Definitely will have Alex back on.
I'm just not going to question my friends. And I understand that thought process. I don't agree with it. But hey, Trump's doing so much good. We've seen him try to kill him, all we've been through. I'm just not going to stay focused on this. Well, I don't want to stay focused on it. But then Trump's administration, the DOJ, comes out Friday and blocks a federal court ruling and his own HHS and FDA and EPA trying to ban fluoride in the water. It says we're keeping it in the water. And by the way, we're going to bring up mRNA shots. Well, that. And again, Trump, I was a total cheerleader.
Yeah, this is why I was talking about RFK the other day, because RFK has been on the plane 2 or 3 times. I forget how many times. He admits it, which is what you have to do. You have to be honest and be like, yeah, I was on the plane, but I had nothing to do with fucking any fucking kids, all right? He was, he offered me a plane ride so I could go across country, and I didn't have a plane, so I used his plane. But then, the way RFK is kind of flipping on a lot of things makes you wonder. Maybe this is why it seems that everybody that gets elected into government gets into government and then never does anything for the American people. They seem to be making all these weird decisions that seem to benefit everybody else but the American people. Maybe this is why. Because once they get in, they're controlled. They're blackmailed. And they're just going to do whoever has the levers on them. They're going to do what they want. And it's, maybe the American people need to figure out how to start blackmailing some of these politicians. Maybe we need to all get together, start a GoFundMe, and start setting up little honey traps for these politicians so the American people can actually have the blackmail for once. And maybe then the American people will actually get something.
A few months ago, I was like, God, Jones is a cult member. It was all basically good, like 99%. I was like, this is insanely good. Bam, bam, defend. And Homan and all the arrested child traffickers. It's just beautiful. And then now things are moving in the wrong direction from perfect to me. And I'm like, stop. We're the constituents. We have a right to do this. We have a duty to do this. So I am beyond blown away. I am beyond concerned. And they are clearly with Maxwell right at the right time. I'll give you the list. I don't know if I didn't exist. And as if you can believe anything from her. And again, the Democrats have had the files forever, which this DOJ under Trump had to go seize and get, which we broke with O'Boyle, the FBI whistleblower, the day before that came out. So I want to believe in Trump, and the jury's out right now, but this is a fiasco of fiascos. So no, I'm not going to shut up. I'm not going to stop asking questions. And
Dude, it is nice to see people like Alex. There's a lot of people that are Trump supporters that put their life on the line, their fucking livelihoods. You know, no one's this is a good freeze frame of Alex. Nobody has been through more than Alex for supporting Trump. And now Trump is just shitting all over these people. And I'm glad to see that people are willing to say, fuck you, Trump. I'm going to stand for what I believe in. And if you're going to go against it, then now you will become, you'll be left by the wayside. We'll move on. We don't need you. We'll find somebody else. And that is something we need to start figuring out. The MAGA movement who's like realizing, oh, so Trump's not going to be what we wanted him to be. In fact, he's seemingly just, business as usual. So it's time to find who might be the next guy. And I know copium, hope, we got to try something. Who's the next guy?
I wish Trump
Who's
would
the next fucker?
stop telling people to stop asking questions. Do you know how the Streisand effect works? I mean, I hate to be giving you advice how to cover something up. I don't even want to do that, but it's like, what are you doing?
Exactly. Even if you were guilty, like, you're an idiot the way you're trying to cover this up. You could have just kept saying, hey, there's so much footage, there's so much stuff to go through. Man, it's going to take us a year or two, and then we're going to investigate behind the scenes, and we're going to make sure we put solid cases together. So be patient. Don't worry. It's all being worked on. And then that would have been it. But no, you come out and you think people are dumb enough that you're just going to say, oh no, he did kill himself. Oh no, yeah, he did. Oh yeah, and all the shit we were saying before. Oh, just forget about that. Stop asking questions. Okay. What's your fucking problem? Why are you asking questions? It's mind-bogglingly fucking dumb, dude. It's so fucking dumb.
It's like they say who the gods would destroy, they first make mad. And as our founders said, we can never be overtaken from outsiders. We have to destroy ourselves from within. And I know the Democrats are pure evil, and I just need Trump not to behave like he is. That's my report. Here's the different spectrums: Benny Johnson, Glenn Beck, and then Charlie Kirk saying, time to shut up. Well, sorry, Charlie. I love you to death, but I'm not about to shut up on anything.
I don't love
Follow
Charlie.
me on next Real Hawks Jones.
I never gave a shit about Charlie Kirk. Thank God.
Infowars.com
I do love Alex Jones, though. I know a lot of you guys, you hate Alex. I think you guys need to give Alex a chance. All right? You need to give him a chance. Because if Alex was bought and paid for, why would he be going against Trump here? If he was just a shill, why would he be risking everything to go against Trump? Doesn't make sense. Why would he have been the guy that was banned off of fucking everything, that the government came after to try to take his business and put him out of business? But yet, he's a shill. What? Because he doesn't say Israel enough, and he says globalist instead of Israel. Like, come on, guys. Come on.
show. I got to say, Elon a few months ago bringing this up, saying, Trump's in there. Everybody's like, screw him. Yeah, it doesn't matter. You think he would give up all that influence, everything he was doing, everything he sacrificed for no reason? No, I think Elon got showed some really bad stuff.
I've never been on Alex's show. Alex has been on my show twice. I've been to his studios. I filmed both of my shows at his studios. The second one, we did it the way if it was up to me, the second time I interviewed Alex, it would have been done exactly the way I did the first one. But Alex really wanted to do it in his setup, so we did it that way. But it ended up seeming like I was on InfoWars, but that was technically my show. We just did it like it was an InfoWars show. But it kind of ruined my ability to like edit it the way I wanted to. So, but it was still fun. It was good to get to talk to him.
And I'm not saying that it's Trump did something, but it's that somehow these powerful corporate leaders convinced Trump that it would crash the stock market or something if they brought this out, which I can get that argument. Don't agree with it, but I get the argument. And Elon's like, I'm out. Well, I'll tell you, just like Beck said, about to say, I'm out too. You better get ahead of this, Trump, because we need you. But we sure as hell ain't going down with you. We sure as hell, by extension, aren't joining the globalists in this operation. Because if we cover this up, we now are guilty as accessories after the fact. And my soul ain't for soul. My soul is not for sale. It's like Tony Montana says, there's two things in this world, my word and my balls, and I ain't breaking them for nobody. He also says no women, no kids.
Yeah, and to be honest, Alex is so much more fun when he's fighting the establishment. When he's, so I hope we get a return to like funny meme Alex. Let's just go. Look, unless Trump changes real soon, it's time to go to war with Trump, Alex. That'll be fun and that'll be entertaining. And it'll be the right thing to do. Okay? Fuck these guys. You don't want to protect the kids. You don't want to fucking give us the transparency you promised. Fuck you, dude. Fuck you.
That's my rule as well. God bless you all.
Ghislaine Maxwell holds the key to so much of this. Ghislaine Maxwell is alive. She's currently in prison. She's serving a 20-year sentence for trafficking children.
Oh, yeah. Let's see. Apparently, she's willing to talk. There was an article somebody sent me here. Let's see if I still have it. We'll jump to this. Did I lose the article? Yeah, I must have fucking closed it. I'll find it again. Here, we'll play this while I find that article.
To nobody, remember? Her sentence, of course, is sort of a proxy. What they were going to do to Epstein, they're now doing to Maxwell. Here's what I found out yesterday. There is no further information at the FBI. The FBI doesn't really house trial evidence. The FBI doesn't prosecute people. The FBI refers for prosecution, but the Department of Justice are the prosecutors. They make the final decisions.
So it's all Bondi's fault, guys. That's it sounds like what he's saying. We got to stop. I mean, we should blame Bondi and demand that she resign, but we should also fucking make sure that Trump doesn't slide by on this, because this is Trump. So I think it was down here a little bit. She's willing to testify. She wasn't part of victim of Epstein, talking about Ghislaine Maxwell. The fact that Epstein died made her a primary target and caused an excessive sentence to her. Some executive clemency is very much warranted in her case. That's her lawyers. Her lawyers are trying to get her case dropped. I think it might go to the Supreme Court. While the disgraced financier was in prison, he died on August 10th, 2019, in what was determined to be suicide by hanging. And the Daily Mail revealed exclusively this week that Maxwell is willing to speak before Congress about the so-called list. Must-see television. Broadcast that shit. Live stream it. A source said despite the rumors Ghislaine was never offered any kind of plea deal, she would be more than happy to sit before Congress and tell her story. This part's a little weird. No one from government has ever asked her to share what she knows. What? If she's telling the truth, that is a little weird. You would think they would have been interrogating the fuck out of her to like, give us names. Who else? Names. We want names. Names. But no, apparently the government never asked her about what she knew. She remains the only person to be jailed in connection to Epstein, and she would welcome the chance to tell the American public the truth. I mean, fuck, dude. Yeah, take it with a grain of salt, but let's hear what she's got to say. What the truth is remains to be seen. Meanwhile, French modeling agent Jean-Luc Brunel, an associate of Epstein's, was arrested on December 16, 2020 by French authorities, but also died by suicide. Oh, another one. Another one bites the dust. Before his trial could proceed. Therefore, Maxwell is the only one left serving a sentence for the child sex trafficking crimes on charges of perjury, enticement, and conspiracy to entice minors, and the transportation of minors with intent to engage in criminal sexual activity. In June 2022, she was sentenced to 20 years in prison. But Maxwell's lawyers say she should have never been put up on trial because there was a 2008 plea deal that gave like immunity, and they're trying to say that she should have had immunity. I think that's what they're trying to say. Despite the existence of a non-prosecution agreement, promising in plain language that the United States would not prosecute any co-conspirator of Jeffrey Epstein, The United States, in fact, prosecuted Ghislaine Maxwell as a conspirator of Jeffrey Epstein, they wrote in a filing reviewed by Newsweek. So that's the appeal that's going to go to the Supreme Court. I don't think it's going to win. But let's hope we get something from her before sheet day arrives and they deliver 100 sheets to her prison cell. That's still weird how many fucking sheets Epstein had. So yeah, that's something that could come out soon. We'll see here soon. Would be nice. You know, who else is going to know but her? I mean, she's going to, if anybody knows everything, it's fucking her. So we'll see.
The vast majority of the Epstein evidence currently resides inside of a place called the Southern District of New York. I was told yesterday on a phone call by a federal official, what do you want us to release? You know, there's bad images. You know, there's bad and nasty stuff there. I don't need that. Nobody needs any abuse material on the internet. That's not what we're asking for. The bloody and insulting idea that we're...
Yeah, I think we saw this. Let's see if Alex... Yeah, I think Alex comes back. Let's see if anything else Alex says. Oh, no, yeah, that's all of it. Even Matt Walsh, you know, some Daily Wire
Ben
guys
Stevens
are saying, talking up.
Super chatted $9.99. John MacArthur for president.
Amen. Amen. That's who we got to rally behind. We got to get behind John. But again, you know, John's too young. It's going to be a while for John runs. So we need somebody to go in there and like clean everything up and make it really easy for John. But he would make a great president, dude. So yeah, he's got my support. Thank you for the $10, bro.
Now, of course, we have no idea what information, if any, this sociopath, this evil woman will ultimately reveal. But the fact remains that, especially after the humiliating display by Bondi and the DOJ we've all just witnessed, it's probably worth listening to Maxwell's testimony. If a client list exists...
Wilford Brimley super chatted $2. I like Benny, but he needs to lay off the Adderall.
Yeah, that kind of pisses me off too, man. It's like you're taking performance-enhancing drugs. How am I supposed to keep up with all these fucking podcasters on Adderall? I mean, it's hard to do a show every day. There are days where I'm just like, my brain's... yesterday, my brain was firing on all cylinders. It was an easy show. Today, I'm like, it's like, oh, God, wake up. Snap out of it. It'd be nice to have some Adderall and just be like, oh... You know, because caffeine only goes so fucking far, dude. I don't know. I might have to jump on this Adderall thing, Wilfred. I might have to start taking some, bro. It seems to be working for a lot of these fuckers. Thank you for the $2, brother.
At this point, she's the most likely person to tell us. Now, yes, it's an indictment of Pam Bondi and the DOJ that we see any reason to listen to a ghoul like this, but that's where we are. Millions of Americans are not satisfied with what we've been told. And we shouldn't be, because it's been contradictory and insulting to our intelligence every step of the way. So now we're looking elsewhere. This is what happens when people are deceived and strung along for years, only to be told that they're not entitled to any kind of transparency whatsoever. People are not just going to move on with their lives, no matter how badly you want them to. And there's a reason for that. And I want to make this very clear.
You're also talking about, I've never done Adderall. God dang, I'd like to try it once just to see what it's like. I'm a try it once type of guy. Except for like crocodile or whatever. You know, there's certain like fentanyl, you know, there's certain drugs I don't want to try once. But Adderall is one of those, yeah, I'd like to try it once. DMT is another one that maybe I'll try it one day, but it's like, I don't know, it turns people a little fucking weird sometimes.
To those on the right, including the president himself, who are telling us to just drop the subject and move on. We can't drop it. We can't move on, because what we want is justice.
Someone's asked me who the next candidate should be. Maybe just Alex Jones, dude. What about that? Let's just throw Alex Jones in the ring. Maybe, you know,
we have a deep desire for justice, and we can see how...
If we're looking for a meme president, I don't think there'd be a better meme president than Alex. So at least it would be fucking entertaining.
The corrupt and the powerful are never held accountable. We can look at our cities and see violent criminals running rampant in the streets, also not held accountable. We want these evildoers to be punished. We want the innocent to be defended. We want justice. It's one of the most basic and most honorable of all human desires. We want to see that justice is done. We want to know who else was in those awful videos that Pam Bondi told us about, And we want those people to be dragged in front of us, weeping and begging for mercy.
But they told you already, Matt. It's all just a bunch of CP. That's it. It's his private collection of CP. That's it, guys. Don't look look the other way. Stop asking questions.
We want them exposed
Trust
and
us,
humiliated and shamed and punished in the harshest and most painful way, because that's justice. And we're not going to drop the subject until we get it. So unseal everything, including the search warrants and the financial disclosures. Tell us what exactly was in those truckloads of documents that you recovered in New York. Show us the phase 2 Epstein files that you told us about just a few months ago.
Yeah.
In other words, don't give us any more excuses from bureaucrats on Fox News. Don't give us any more stonewalling and doublespeak.
I agree.
We've seen more than enough of that in this case and so many others. Instead, for a change, give us something we're not used to seeing from the federal government and the DOJ. Give us justice.
I think this is probably what most people are feeling. I think he's perfectly summed up what people are feeling right now. Yeah, so this is now all of a sudden, after they told us to stop asking questions and there's nothing else there, now all of a sudden they're sending out Lara Trump to try you fucked it up. Unless the files do come out, if all of a sudden the files do come out, people will be like, okay, all right. It's kind of dumb the way you did this, but at least we got the files now. I don't think they're going to come out. I think this is just, more trying to get people to move on.
What would be your advice? Given this back and forth, we're just coming off of Turning Point here in Tampa. This was the topic of conversation. What would be your advice in order to take the temperature down on this issue from within the administration?
Well, I do think that there needs to be more transparency on this. And I think that will happen. I mean, look, I don't know what truly exists there, but I know that this is something that's important to the president as well. He does.
Sure didn't sound like it a couple days ago. I mean, do we got to play the fucking clip again? Epstein files? We're still talking about the Epstein files? Oh, Jesus Christ, this guy just won't die. Yeah, sounds like he really cares.
Does want transparency on all these fronts. That everything we're talking about.
Your words are hollow because your actions speak louder than words right now, Laura.
Because it's frustrated him as well. He sat for 4 years like the rest of us did and saw lie after lie and saw our country just being sent down the wrong path. And it was really frightening and very upsetting to a lot of people to see. And I would actually say over the past 10 years, we've all kind of endured this. Prior to that, it was probably happening, Benny, but we just weren't as aware of it. It wasn't until Donald Trump came down that golden escalator that he just kind of blew the doors off of everything, and people started to wake up and realize.
So now they're trying to give Trump credit, like Trump's the one that blew the whistle on Epstein. No, it was Alex Jones, if I remember right. I think Alex Jones, I'm sure there's other people, but I know Alex was very early on talking about Epstein Island before it was a thing that people knew about. So all of a sudden it was Donald Trump that blew up the story. What?
Wait a minute, things are not as they have always been presented to us. And I do believe that you will see that. Now, as it relates to the president, I know that this is probably not his number one thing he's focused on. He's focused on a lot of other important things. We've got this big announcement with Russia going on, I think, as we're speaking right now.
What, the announcement that we're sending more arms to Ukraine? That announcement?
At the White House. We have, a Middle East, we're trying to get peace over there. We're trying to make sure that Iran's nuclear arsenal is obviously completely decimated. We want to make sure everything is on the right track for this country. Fortunately, you've seen no border crossings in the last month. 0, by the way. I think that's incredible. No one's talking about that enough. 0 illegal border crossings in the month of June. Amazing how that's all.
Come on now, Ricky Bobby. Don't say that. But Ricky Bobby's saying her face was made in China. Now that's fucking rude, Ricky Bobby. She's a beautiful woman, Ricky. She's very beautiful. Joe, stop yelling at me, Joe.
Brimley super chatted $2.
People don't like it, Joe. You're yelling too much.
Talking about Epstein in late 2000s.
Yeah, he was talking about it a long fucking time ago, like before anybody had any clue, dude. Yeah, thank you, Wilford.
Gone. So I don't know that this was top of mind for him, but he hears all the noise and he hears all of the consternation out there. And I think he's going to want to set things right as well. So I believe that there will probably be more coming on this. And I believe anything that they are able to release that doesn't, damage any witnesses or anyone underage or anything like that. I believe they'll probably try to get out sooner rather than later because they hear it and they understand it. So hopefully we see that happen sooner than later. And that, I guess that would be my advice. But to everybody out there who's all worked up about it, there's no like great plot to keep this information away that I'm aware of.
That I'm aware of. Okay, that's a good caveat to add, because there very fucking clearly is a plot right now to keep this information buried, dude. Laura, God bless you. You tried. This is not going to work. The only thing that's going to work is if you start releasing files. This should release one a day for the rest of the administration. I mean, give us something, dude. This shit is not going to work. This trying to sweep it under the rug and don't worry, guys, our heart's in the right place, guys. No, it's not going to fucking work.
I do just believe that maybe it's been slow rolled for reasons that hopefully we understand down the line. And I think we're probably going to get more transparent.
Oh yeah, it's more 100D chess. We'll understand it down the line. I mean, you got to realize like this is like high level shit we're dealing with, and we're just like thinking 100 steps ahead. It's like, no, you're fucking idiots. That's what you are. That's what you are. And Laura, I don't know much about you, but you're trying. So good job. Good job, Laura. All right. What do we got next here? So yeah, guys, don't worry. The files are coming. Oh, yeah, this is the fluoride. The Trump DOJ just blocked the HHS, FDA, EPA from removing poisonous fluoride from our drinking water. Oh, okay. Boy, I wonder how Alex feels about this one.
Over the weekend, the Trump DOJ
He's so unhappy. I don't blame him.
knocked another ball for Team Tyranny out of the park. They blocked a federal court ruling that had the support of the HHS.
It's Lara, but everybody still says Laura, though. So even though it's spelled Lara, Lara, I think people still say Laura, right? I don't fucking know.
HHS, EPA, FDA, you name it, and all these scientists, and Robert Kennedy Jr., and the plaintiffs, to remove hydrofluorosilicic acid, or the most toxic concentrated form of fluoride, out of the water. Now, the United States started fluoridation after World War II. A few countries in the world put a little bit of it in, it's all been removed. You have major FDA reports coming out last year that it causes major neurological problems, brain damage, cancer, lowered IQ. Until the 1940s, it was the main bug poison you bought at the store. They would just put powder out on the ground, and if a bug walked through it, it would later die. And that's just regular sodium fluoride, not super concentrated, weaponized, the most.
You're scaring me, Alex. I drank a little tap water today because I was too lazy to get like, I forgot why, but I was like, I'll just drink some tap water. And now I'm like really regretting it.
Deadly form of fluoride, the second strongest acid in the world, hydrofluorosilicic acid. It also acts as an adjuvant for any other toxins in the body.
I don't even use tap water in my coffee. I use spring water, but it was just quicker. I was like, let me just quickly drink some water. Not doing that again. No more tap water for me.
Bring that across the blood-brain barrier. It's heavily connected with the cocktail of other things like vaccines and pesticides to autism, the exploding neurological disorders we see. So here we have the Trump administration that's been doing so much good, now suddenly accelerating war, now starting to authorize more mRNA shots, coming out and saying there is no Epstein list, and so forget about it after promising to release all the Epstein information. And then Trump did an about face over the weekend and said, no, actually the Democrats have controlled the Epstein case files for years, so they've doctored them, which they doctor everything. I'm not saying that couldn't be true.
But thank you. But what, Alex?
But at the same time, it's just flip-flopping and 180s and all the rest of it. And then you've got this.
Don't make me have to say it, Alex.
Action by the Solicitor General, officially under Pam Bondi, to appeal this federal court ruling that says take hydrofluorosilicic acid out of the water. Now, states across the country, led by Utah, now passed laws to pull it out. Kennedy wants a federal ban. He's been pushing it. Even the top FDA and EPA scientists are all on record. And then there's major law groups that have been winning cases. We'll put their sites and X post up here. And we just saw the FDA come out last week and say, under Kennedy's direction, he doesn't control it, but he's advisory, you need to take all the fluoride out of the different children's medications, that they just add to it to strengthen the power of whatever the drug is. It's an adjuvant, it's an accelerant, it's an amplifier, but it's a serious neurotoxin, and so that's now out. They've now ordered the drug companies to stop it. So what Kennedy can do, he's doing a great job on. More and more, he's being blocked by the goalies.
Wilfred Brimley super chatted $5. Google websites that show amount of fluoride in water per jurisdiction. Most cities have 7 parts per million, which is a dangerous level, but some places have less.
Jesus. Aren't we like one of the only countries that's still putting fluoride in the water? Like every other country's got smart and like maybe they put a little bit, but then they backed away or something. I gotta look it up. You know, I've always heard about fluoride being bad for you and all the shit about fluoride. It's just mind-boggling that it would be in our water if it's this bad for you. But no, trust the government, guys. Trust the government. I gotta look that up. I wonder how bad it is in my area.
The DOJ.
Thank you, Wilfred.
This is a hands-down known fact of how deadly hydrofluorosilicic acid is and what it does to our bodies, how it's lowered U.S. IQs massively. If you go to any big grocery store, there's finally phasing it out, but for 30 years, they have formula water for babies fortified with fluoride, way even above the level they admit causes serious brain damage, infertility, neurological disorders, cancer, you name it. So this has been done on purpose to dumb us down. They don't just teach 2 + 2 = 5 in school with Common Core to dumb you down with a curriculum. They do it chemically. And we are the most drugged up, most unhealthy people.
Maybe Trump's like, you know what? MAGA's getting a little too smart with for their own good with this Epstein shit. So we're going to increase the amount of fluoride in the water until these people stop asking about Epstein.
People in the world.
Could be.
Rather than ban glyphosates, they just got approval for one that's 45 times stronger to be sold over the counter. Hey, if you want breast cancer or testicular cancer, or you want to, get pancreatic cancer, this is the way to go. So when it comes to the chemical companies, Trump is really, and his people are really doing some bad stuff. And I've held my tongue on Susie Wiles and Pam Bondi being part of those big legal.
No more holding your tongue, Alex. Let it rip, boy.
Consultancies that work with chemical companies and Pfizer and others. But now it's clear. I'll do a whole separate report on this tomorrow when I'm back in studio in Austin. But they've now been blocking a bunch of court cases that Kennedy and Del Bigtree and a bunch of other people supported and brought in the last 4 or 5 years against Pfizer, Moderna, and others, with all the proof of how deadly those shots are, the mRNA mutagenic shots. So across the board, these lobbyist lawyers and others are absolutely going against Maha and what we elected Trump for. And I'm just going to call balls and strikes on Trump. I'm glad it wasn't Kamala Harris in there.
I'm going to ask how you get water without fluoride. I'm pretty sure bottled water doesn't have fluoride in it. Correct me if I'm wrong. If you're buying a high quality one where they're not just like using tap water, I think even the ones that are probably using tap water, they run it through a process to like clean it up. But yeah, that's why everybody drinks fucking bottled water. Nobody drinks tap water anymore.
And I like what's happening on the border and trying to stop war with Russia and all the rest of it, and getting our jobs back and the trade deals. That's all great. And shutting down the border 96%. And they have found a lot of the missing kids. That's great. Tom Homan's doing a great job. But for people out there that say, hey, trust the plan. And
yeah, and then bottled water has plastic. So you get fucking plastic in your balls and you shoot up your estrogen. And yeah, you kind of fucked either way, huh? I guess, find a water source and then take your glass bottles of that. I don't know, dude. It's difficult. You're fucked either way.
You're against Trump. You criticize any of this. You're mentally ill. We have to put pressure on the Trump administration because there's a tug of war with insiders and lobbyists and others who go make recommendations to Trump, who are really starting to make the administration go from doing a really great job to starting to shift into some really bad territory. And so the Israel lobby and all these other neocon lobbies want us to just shut up about war and do whatever Trump says. Well, that's what people are recommending to Trump. We are his constituents. We're putting pressure on him. So anybody that tells you not to criticize Trump or you're not a supporter thinks you're stupid and is trying to get you into a Democrat Party style cult.
Amen, dude. I like hearing Alex say this. He's saying the same thing I'm saying, man. Same thing I'm saying. This is not the time to be fucking playing team sports. All right, I get it. During the election, you know, you think one candidate's better, so it's just like you're gonna go in all on that candidate. I get that, but this is not that time. This is the time to hold our elected representatives accountable, to hold Trump accountable, and say, look, this is what you said you were gonna do, and we demand that you deliver, or go fuck yourself. That's what time this is right now. Okay, and if he's not gonna deliver, then we need to find somebody else. Who? Alex Jones. You know. You know, 'cause John McCarthy's going to be president, but you know, between then and now, maybe we can let Alex be president. I'm telling you, man, Alex, you got to run, dude. You got to take the bullet, dude, for the team, man. Go run.
And it's extremely.
With Joe Rogan, Alex Jones and Joe Rogan as a ticket together, that'd be great. As long as they did a podcast from the White House every day, it'd be worth it.
Extremely dangerous. So really, I've always
Eddie Bravo and Tim Dillon. That'd be great, dude.
Called balls and strikes, but more and more I'm going to try
get
to
him in the administration.
Publish some report cards.
We got to get Eddie Bravo in the administration somehow.
Card systems on the major issues, and I'm going to start putting out like a monthly basic report card on the big issues. You know, the guy who's really an expert on this and already does it is the folks over at the John Birch Society and the president of the John Birch Society. We need to get William F. Jasper on, actually, because they already do a report card. I know they've got one coming out on Trump. In fact, we'll try to get him on the next few days, because that's the only way I can really do this is, okay, Trump's good here, A+ here, B- here, C- here, F here, and then, hey, let's put pressure on so that they don't do this, because it's our pressure getting them to dial back to war with Iran. It's our pressure getting them to do so many of these things, and fluoride's very unpopular. It's on record bad for you, and this is outrageous that you have HHS head going around, the states banning it, the feds moving to ban it. And then they have a court ruling, signaling, yeah, we understand this is right, and it's a class action, and that's the proper way for the courts to do it. And then the DOJ comes in and says, we're appealing this. And while that's being appealed for the next few years, the fluoride's going to stay in your damn water. Okay? And if you want bone cancer, you want brain cancer, this is the way to go. You want lower fertility, this is the way to go. You want accelerated aging, this is the way to go. You want lower IQs, this is the way to go. So I am just very upset about this, and I'm more and more, again, seeing Trump go from doing a 95% good job to like a 90% and 85%. I mean, it's really ticking down here. And we need to put major pressure on this administration. We need to support the good people. We need to expose the bad people. I'm not an enemy of Pam Bondi. She seems like a nice lady. I know Dan Bongino, those people. I don't think they're bad people, but I think they're in over their heads. And just everything we've been seeing is absolutely...
I don't know. They're in over their heads, so... They didn't make this decision to come out and fucking push the new narrative that there's nothing to see here, boys. I don't know. I can't cover for them, dude. To me, fuck all of them. They're not to be trusted.
Not what we voted for, more and more. And so what do you think about Trump administration? This is high level. This was a decision by the Solicitor General.
Yeah, you guys, you got to talk to Unstoppable. Unstoppable sells water systems. So I don't know which one. I'm sure if you have the money, you can buy a water system that'll filter out all the fucking fluoride in your house. My old house, I used to have a water softener, but I don't think it got rid of the fluoride. I'm not sure, but yeah. Anyway, yeah, talk to Unstoppable. He'll sell you something.
And
tell him to give you the pink trip discount.
Attorney General, it's all on record, to appeal this and try to keep deadly bug poison, is basically what it is, fluoride, in your water. You have the American Chemical Council, that's just an open group for the big chemical companies that want all this done. We got the paraquat and all these other deadly chemicals sprayed in our lakes and rivers to, quote, kill hydrilla because it's invasive. And then it kills all the turtles and fish, and it gets into our drinking water and makes our cancer explode. The atrazine, the bisphenol A. I mean, we're really moving to get all this out. But these corrupt chemical companies are doing...
That's another thing that needs to be addressed. Like, these companies that are like forcing people to use their seeds, and then, the seeds only last for one season, so you have to buy this. Like, the monopolizing of our food industry is pretty fucking scary to me.
And all this stuff that's not even needed.
And then the spraying of glyphosate, and it ends up in our water. Like, we're all getting this glyphosate in our systems, dude. And who knows how much shit is that the glyphosate's responsible for causing. Because there's a lot of autoimmune issues going around that seem worse than ever.
For agriculture, anything. It's all about control. They have all these chemicals that are a lot safer, but they choose the ones that are the most toxic, and they bomb our environment with it. And we are the most unhealthy people on earth by far, and getting more and more so every day. Our standard of life is down. We're not living as long. All the different disorders are off the charts. We are very, very sickly people, and our children now 1 in 3 has diabetes or is pre-diabetic. It's trending towards half soon. Autism rates from 1 in 50,000 50-something years ago, like 1 in...
I mean, look, I'm telling you, we are fucked in so many ways, but throw away the junk food. Eat meat. Eat like real fresh food that goes bad after like a few days. Like eat food like that. It'll make a huge difference with your health.
33.
There are things you can do.
Now, I mean, this is serious. You go out in public, you see the public. We look like we've been poisoned to death because we are. So I am extremely upset about this. I'm extremely disgusted. And I need Trump to succeed. I know the Democrats are pure evil. I know they're out of control. They want to put me in prison. They want to just take our children all away from us culturally and literally mutilate them. Okay, I mean, we know they're pure evil turned over to the globalists. And Trump's the guy we brought in. There's other populists being elected all over the world. So there's a very good trend there, but we have to fight each time we get these people in that they don't get taken off course or get co-opted. We have to use our energy as constituency, as the grassroots. Politics is downstream from the grassroots to fight the globalist corporate astroturf. So getting Trump back in, the fight just begun. And again, I do not apologize for holding his feet to the fire. And I'm going to be doing it a lot more and a lot more intensely. People, 6 months goes, God, you only cheerlead. Well, I mean, the course was basically perfect. And now we're...
It was such a different thing too. Remember Doge? Everything seemed so fucking great at the beginning. Oh, we got Doge. We're actually going to start cutting spending. We're going to go in and find all this fraud. And then it's like, oh, that's gone. That was a waste of time. Trump did the same thing. Trump seems to do this all the time. He like promises everybody everything they want to hear. And then he gets in and flips the fucking script. It didn't seem this bad in the first administration, but this one is like, oh, God.
We're going off course here. And I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. So Trump belongs to us. This is our administration.
Yeah, he's our bitch. You're our bitch, Trump. You bitch. Yeah. Fuck, we does. What you want, boy? Yeah. He's our bitch. I don't know what I'm doing here.
Doesn't belong to Netanyahu. Doesn't belong to Kimball.
Let's try to do like a prison thing where we're all gonna rape Trump if he doesn't release the Epstein files. Yeah. Okay.
The company doesn't belong to Pfizer. Doesn't belong to Fauci.
Yeah, bitch.
And, they tried to float out new mRNA shots and all the rest of it. They're trying to get approval of that. Kennedy's fighting it, and we've got to help him fight it. All right. It's that simple. So, what do you think in the comments below about Trump coming out?
You can tell Alex is not. He seems stressed. He's wearing the stress on his face right now, man. He's first not the Epstein files. Now you're not even going to get rid of the fluoride. Jesus Christ! What a slap in the face to Alex Jones. Such a slap in the face. Even Eric Weinstein's coming out. Let's see what I haven't heard anything from Eric in a while. Let's see what he
Jeffrey
says.
Epstein conducted a conference called Confronting Gravity. I don't know who Jeffrey Epstein was, but I would certainly bet money that he was a product of at least one or more elements of the intelligence community.
All right, let's hear what you guys say.
The CIA, the FBI.
Apparently, Weinstein has some experience with Epstein because he had meetings with Epstein about getting funding for some of the shit he was working on because he's a scientist, yada, yada. So let's see what Weinstein has to say.
Those are ours, right? Department of Homeland Security has some of this stuff. Geospatial intelligence has some of this. It's a large network. I'm talking about people like David Grush. I'm talking about people potentially like David Fravor. I'm talking about people like Jake Barber. I'm talking about scientists like Leo Szilard. Imagine if Leo Szilard didn't know that the Manhattan Project was going on, or Jack Raper, a journalist who broke a story. These people all think that they're doing their jobs. I desperately want to know why Jeffrey Epstein knew so much about my work. And I want to know why he was connected to my graduate program. I was in the Harvard mathematics department. Jeffrey Epstein was absolutely connected to the Harvard math department. I want to know why.
How was he connected to the math department?
Seems to have been connected to fucking everything, dude. Was there anything that Epstein didn't fucking have his hands in?
You're pushing me to say things I'm not going to say.
No, say them, dude. Don't be a bitch.
But I don't mind.
I'm curious. I'm not the department.
Absolutely connected to the Harvard math department. I want to know why.
How was he connected to the math department?
You're pushing me to say things I'm not going to say.
Why? Well, what the fuck? You're going to just give us a little nugget, but I can't. How was he connected, fucker? He's probably funding them, I'm sure. Because that was one thing Epstein did a lot of. He would just throw money at scientists.
But I don't mind.
I'm curious. I'm not trying to push you.
I understand.
Eric Maranta says, Eric finding a way to make it about himself again. I did notice that as well.
Yeah.
But I'm just not going to do it.
I love Eric.
I'm saying that anybody who wants to...
You said he was connected to the math department.
To the Harvard mathematics department.
How did you know he was connected?
You can Google it. You could Google it right now. This is not... I can point at all sorts of stuff that's hidden in plain sight.
So I'll take your word for it. And the assertion that I'm picking up on is that Jeffrey Epstein was planted in your world to keep...
I'm not saying he's planted. I don't know who he was. I don't know who ran him. He certainly was not a financier in any standard sense.
Really?
That was a cover story, yes.
The way that we know Jeffrey Epstein, in the UK especially, is just this guy who was this rich guy who had this island, who brought people there and then did these despicable things there.
Disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah, that's the story.
Disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein. It's called perseveration. He was a disgraced financier. What kind of a financier? A disgraced one. What was his name? Oh, he was disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein. They perseverate that into your mind so that you auto-complete that in your LLM life. Do you believe that that's what Jeffrey Epstein was?
Dude, like 90% of the shit Weinstein says just goes right over my fucking head. That's why so many people don't like him. It's like, dude, can you put this in a way that the rest of us can understand what the fuck you're saying?
You met him.
Yeah. I can tell that
financier?
He wasn't a financier the day I met him.
What was he?
He was a weird guy who didn't seem to know a lot about currency trading.
Okay.
Claiming to run a multi-billion-dollar FX hedge fund.
When you say a weird guy, what made him weird?
Same stuff I've said on Chris Williams. I'm not going to go back through that. Just my point is you're getting a different interview. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm trying to get at is Jeffrey Epstein knew a tremendous amount about my work when nobody knew anything about my work. And he had a pipeline into me that I didn't understand, which is that he was connected to my graduate program. And you can check out the conference called Exploring Gravity.
And hosted a physical workshop called Confronting Gravity.
Confronting Gravity, that's right.
In March 2006.
Yeah, what is Jeffrey Epstein? Jeffrey Epstein is very focused on gravity.
Was it a gravity conference?
Yeah.
It was about gravity?
Yeah.
What the fuck was he doing talking about bloody gravity if he's a financier?
It was very important to get Nobel laureates and some of the smartest people on Earth to come to the Virgin Islands and talk about gravity. Stephen Hawking was there, David Gross was there, Lawrence Krauss was there, Lisa Randall was there.
I heard allegedly, this is wild, excuse me, I heard that Stephen Hawking went to Epstein's island, allegedly, sorry guys, and he would get completely, he would have no clothes on, and he would cover himself in chocolate. And you would have a bunch of women remove the chocolate with their face. That's wild, but believable. And I have to say, at least it was chocolate. Because I'm sure some other dudes would not be using chocolate. They'd be using, let's not get that. Anyway, let's get back to this. Anyway, that's what I heard. I don't know if it's true, but it's believable.
Right before his conviction. And I'm telling you, he was very focused on the Harvard math department. And he knew all about me in ways that he wasn't supposed to.
I have to be clear. I have to be clear on my understanding of what you're saying. From what I understood, and you can say, Steve, I'm not going to answer that, whatever, but I just have to, because you've opened up a curiosity hole in my mind,
Sure.
So let me try and fill it, even if it's the conversation I had with Chris.
I'll just evade you.
Fine.
Yeah, fine.
Like, fine, you're within the right
Wonderful.
to evade me. And I hold the right to ask, which is, so what I'm hearing is you believe, and I'm just going to say it how I think it, is.
You said it, Cloud K20. When I read that it was chocolate, I was like, oh, well, that's not that bad. Because the first thing my mind went to was, yeah, doo-doo. Doo-doo.
What I'm hearing is you believe that Jeffrey Epstein was not
I'm
a
fine, Tom.
financier.
Don't worry
He was
about me, brother.
planted
Hope you're doing good,
in
Tom.
some way to
He was a
interfere.
construct, is what I said.
He was a construct in some way to mess with the progression of physics.
Green
Jeffrey Epstein.
Juice Incorporated super chatted $4.99. If the age of consent in some countries is as low as 14, then why would they needs to go to an island to be with underage girls?
Probably for complete control, so that they can be sure that they control every aspect of what's going on, so that they could capture the blackmail they needed. I don't know, man. Maybe because it made some of these elites feel more comfortable to do this type of shit on an island where they thought that there was like no way. I don't know, dude. Good question. But I don't think that disproves anything. But yeah, good question. And I don't know, dude. Maybe they wanted to kill him too. I don't know. Maybe they needed to do it in that fucking temple, you know, to like finalize some crazy fucking satanic ritual. I don't know, dude.
Apparently, I think I'll tell you what I said. When I met him, when the meeting was over, I immediately called my wife and I said, I have just met a construct. She said, what do you mean? I said, this person is not who they claim to be. Somebody has constructed this human being to be something that they are not, which is a hedge fund genius. Somebody who could understand the euro and the yen like nobody else. Bullshit. Not true.
So I'm guessing when he got to meet Epstein, when Weinstein did, he must have like grilled him on like all this like high level fucking financing shit, and Epstein was clueless. So then he's like, you're not even a real fucking hedge fund guy. You're just a bullshitter. I'm guessing that's how he figured this out.
I believe that whoever constructed Jeffrey Epstein was running multiple different programs through the same thing, having put in a large initial investment. It wasn't about one thing. If you build a mall, you don't just have clothing stores in the mall, you have a food court in the mall, right? You have jewelry in the mall. You have all sorts of different things in the mall. Jeffrey Epstein was a construct of something that was running multiple things. One of those things was science. And I don't think that the science and the pedophilia were necessarily in the same bucket. He was funding all sorts of people. I don't think everybody at that, part of the problem with calling his plane the Lolita Express and calling his island Pedophile Island is that you just can't see all the different things that were going through this guy. I don't think almost any of those scientists.
Yeah, but I think that's the one that gets the most attention, Eric. I don't think people really give a shit that he was funding science projects, probably so that they could control like new scientific breakthroughs. So if something came out, like, I don't know. I don't know why he was doing it. Maybe he just had a bunch of money and he needed to send it somewhere. But yeah, no one gives a fuck about the scientist part, dude. They care about the kid fucking, bro.
Are exposed, maybe a few of them, but very few of them, to anything really horrible. I think he was trying to keep a periscope on everything that was interesting. And I think that his girlfriend's father, Robert Maxwell, was all through scientific publishing. And I think Pergamon Press was, in part, a control mechanism for making sure that revolutionary discoveries were taking place within a framework. Anybody can, look, you can write a Substack article and you can hit post, and suddenly the world has access to your Substack article. That is a nightmare. What if somebody posts, weaponized anthrax? What if they do the equivalent of saying, what if there's a neutral proton?
So you think he was controlling science?
I think that Robert Maxwell was in part trying to control science. I think Jeffrey Epstein was in part trying to fund science, trying to control it. I don't really know.
Well, yeah, you could have answered that. You could have started from the very beginning. It said, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah, I just wanted to hear what Weinstein had to say about it. So yeah, that might have been why they were funding all this shit. They wanted to control whatever scientific breakthroughs came out. That could be. Yeah, I wanted to pull this up because we also got Kelly and Ben Shapiro going at it. That one's coming up here in a second. That one's pretty fucking entertaining. I watched some of it. But yeah, this is Epstein during his deposition. It's kind of creepy, man.
To give away the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God.
Yes, I do.
You can see this guy's really full of himself. He's really, no humility in this guy.
Is it true, sir, that you have what's been described as an egg-shaped penis?
This is like the only strategy they have. When people won't talk, they'll just start talking about what their penis looks like. Oh, so you're gonna plead the fifth? Okay. Well, I heard that you have a weird penis. What do you say about that? Yeah. Oh, I heard you like to shove Cinnamon Toast Crunch up your ass every morning. What I heard. It's like, okay, I get the tactic.
I had hired psychologists to do a psychological profile on Jeffrey Epstein, what type of person he was. And
yeah, he does. It's like, exactly. Someone, Black Mage says he knew he was untouchable. That's the vibe I get from this fucker, dude.
What would actually get under his skin, what made him tick, was that he...
Creepy, dude. Creepy, dude.
He was a narcissist.
This was your best friend for 15 years, Trump? What the fuck is wrong with you, dude?
He had no ability to feel empathy and saw himself as the master of puppets, so to speak. Sir, one witness described your penis oval-shaped and claimed when erect it was thick towards the bottom but was thin and small towards the head portion.
How dare you? How dare you demean this man's penis? That is a little weird, though. It's a little weird. Because usually the head, is bigger than, But is that egg-shaped? Because look, especially when you got a big bush going on, it always looks like an egg popping out from a bush. See, I can get the egg thing, but it was, what? I don't know. We're talking too much about his penile.
And called it egg-shaped. Those are not my words, I apologize. But as Mr. Critton has stated, that this is I'm willing to continue.
I'm willing to continue talking about your penis if you would just sit here and let me talk about your penis and all the intricacies of your penis.
I hate to call him out. Let me go on the record. He tries at all times to be the master of his domain.
I'd like to go on the record and say my penis is great. It doesn't look like an egg. It looks like a giant python. Put that on the record, bitch.
And in control of his world. As soon as he feels he's out of control, it's unsettling to him.
Complaint filed by Virginia Roberts against you.
So Virginia Roberts, I think that's before she got married. That's Virginia Guffrey.
Isn't it true, sir, that a friend of
Jeffrey Epstein, yeah, that's what we need to call him, Jeffrey Epstein.
Of yours sent you 3 12-year-old females for you to sexually abuse on one of your birthdays.
Steven super chatted $9.99.
Amen. Dude.
Sunshine is the best disinfectant.
Exactly, dude. But people make excuses. Oh, we can't know. We got to keep the American people safe by not telling them. Like we're all fucking children. We got to pretend that Santa Claus still exists or something, dude. Yep. Thank you. And this is all things that Trump ran on. But of course now it's shut up. Stop asking questions.
Form argumentative, harassing, and irrelevant to this lawsuit.
But you're saying it's part of the lawsuit? Yeah, I'll read it directly.
It was.
I'll have you know my penis is very large and does not resemble an egg whatsoever.
Jeffrey's birthday one.
On one of defendant Epstein's birthdays, a friend of defendant Epstein sent him 3 12-year-old girls from France who spoke no English for defendant to sexually exploit and abuse. After doing so, they were sent back to France the next day. Isn't that true?
Once again, I'm going to move to strike. Irrelevant, argumentative, harassing.
I would like to answer that question. I really would. However, today, my attorneys have told me I have to assert my 5th Amendment, 6th Amendment, and 14th Amendment rights under the U.S. Constitution.
It's such an easy question, too, right? Like, it should be just no. No. Next question. The fact that you plead the 5th Amendment, and I get it. Oh, you got to do the 5th Amendment. That question is just a no. Excuse me, lawyer. Let me answer this one. No. But, I mean, clearly it's a yes for Jeffrey fucking Epstein. Most likely, allegedly.
You're invoking your Fifth Amendment rights to each of these questions because you know that your answers will incriminate you and you feel that it will result in you being prosecuted for these crimes. Isn't that right?
Objection argumentative, harassing, and calls for a legal conclusion.
Imagine having to be this lawyer, and your job is to defend Jeffrey Epstein. I hope you sleep well at night, man, because I wouldn't. Like, oh, Mom, I'm a lawyer. Oh, you made it, son. You're a lawyer. You passed the bar. Oh, my son's a lawyer. Well, what's your first case? Yeah, I'm defending Jeffrey Epstein. I don't know you. Pathetic, dude. I mean, I don't know, man. I guess lawyers got to do their job, but I would turn down defending somebody like this.
Would you read it?
So yeah, just so you guys, I don't know if you'd seen this. I passed this up. It was pretty funny, especially the whole egg talk. Oh, yeah, this is Trump on Howard Stern. This is, I mean, not a good look. I was willing to overlook a lot of this shit. I listened to Howard Stern. I was a regular Howard Stern fan. And a lot of people would come on and try to be as edgy as possible. So I was like, it's a bad look, but Trump's just trying to be fucking edgy for Howard. Now, all this shit is open to be looked at again with a different fucking eye. It's like, oh, now that you're hiding the Epstein files, this is not, it looks even worse than it originally did.
I mean, some of these foreign girls, Mr. Trump, in my country, we say hello with vagina. And
well, you could also say, as the owner of the pageant, it's your obligation to do that.
So you have done that.
It's your obligation to go backstage, I think is what they're talking about.
Well, I'll tell you the funniest is that I'll go backstage before a show.
Yes.
And everyone's getting dressed and ready and everything else. And, no men are anywhere. And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it. I'm inspecting. I want to make sure that
like
everything is good.
You're there.
Yeah, the dress. Is everyone okay? They're standing there with no.
Maybe he's just trying to make a joke. But damn, that is something a fucking creep would do. That is something a creep would do. There's no way around that. But maybe he's just trying to be edgy for the old Stern show where everything was like, how creepy and edgy can you be?
Is everybody okay? And you see these incredible looking women. And so I sort of get away.
I mean, some of these foreign girls.
So yeah, there's a lot of the old clips of like, there's one where he's with Ivanka, his daughter. And it was like the Wendy Williams show, I believe. And they asked him, what do you have in common with Ivanka? And his answer was like, sex. What? And then he's like, oh, just kidding. Oh, yeah, I can't say that. Why would you even bring up sex around your daughter like that? Maybe the joke is because I had sex with her mom. That's what we have in common. It's just, there's so many weird things like that, dude. And now it's like, yeah, I was willing to fucking overlook it and go, okay, it's just you being cringe as fuck and bad jokes. But now it's hard to overlook that shit.
Girls, Mr. Trump, in my country, we say hello with vagina. And
well, you could also say, as the owner of the pageant, it's your obligation to do that.
So
okay, we just listened to that one. Yeah, we're calling for this the other day. This was a great clip from Tim. So let's watch this. I'll not interrupt this one because this one's beautiful. That's why Tim's good at what he does, man.
Who is the pedophile that when they speak, you go, man, I relate to that guy. Not on everything. Not on everything. Not on everything. Not on the having sex with kids, which I'm sure he does because all of them do. But God, do I relate to the point he made about tech or whatever. I don't know, but that's the thing now. You just have to go with the pedophile who makes the most sense to you personally. And you're going to argue with your wife about it. It's not going to be easy. John, he's a pedophile. Honey, listen. Our taxes have been going up year after year. It's hard to pay the rent. Don't you want to own a fucking house? Johnny has sex with children. Honey, listen to me. I don't agree with everything this man does. John, this isn't about policy. He's a pedophile. Honey, I understand your concerns, but I work all goddamn week and I can't get ahead. And they're all pedophiles. I want this pedophile. He's going to be good for us, honey. He understands that a man like me needs to get his beak wet with money, not with children, with money. I want the beak wet with money. You'll have to clarify that. Me and this guy, we get it. Not everything. We don't get it all. Some of it, I don't understand what he's doing. But I know Honey has sex with children on an island or, I don't know, is somewhere, and he throws them into a furnace afterwards. And I don't agree with any of that. But that tax cut could be the down payment on our first home.
I mean, this is what makes this so good is that this very well could be our reality. It could be like, just pick the best pedophile because you're not going to get one that's not fucking kids. So pick the one with the best business plan for the country.
Don't you want a home so that our kids can play in the yard? That pedophile's going to do that for us. We need a pedophile who's on our side. When do we get a pedophile who's on our side in this country, honey? A pedophile who's not going to get us into wars. What about a pedophile for peace? A pedophile for peace.
I miss Ben laughing in the background. We got to get Ben back on here, man. I know Ben's doing good with his Lemon Party podcast. It's very popular. But, man, I miss Ben being on this show. Nothing against whoever it is that's laughing in the background. But, Ben had a very special laugh.
When the Mossad emails him those tapes, he goes, so what, boys? So what? You got me fucking a bunch of kids on an island. But guess what? This war's not in our interests.
Yep. I guess that's what we're going to do. We're going to have to just pick our favorite pedophile and run them for office. This is a really good quote from fucking the guy from WikiLeaks. Again, Julian Assange. I was like, why can't I remember his name? The reason the FBI wouldn't let the Epstein client list come out in court is because if they did, their blackmail would no longer be useful, and the CIA would lose their control over all the powerful people they spent decades setting up. It's really what it is, man. I think that this nails it. Trump, you can't give up that power, bro. You can't give it up. We've spent, you know how long we've spent getting this kind of control over the powerful people? You think we're just going to give that up? Well, yeah. Throw the ring in the fire, bro. Throw the ring in the fucking fire. This is a good one. We'll play, I'm going to go take a pee while I start this, but Ben and Megan it gets a little bit heated. I didn't watch all of it, but I watched a little bit of it, and it starts to get a little heated as they debate the Epstein files. So I don't agree with everything Megan says. She likes to throw Virginia Guffrey under the bus a little too much, but she's pretty good with the Epstein stuff. Let's play this.
Sources high up in the law enforcement, let's say, I'll just go that far, who say, not only do we believe he was an agent, but we don't believe he killed himself.
I mean, that's fine. And then they should come out and they should say that. And then they should say who's covering that up.
Okay, but this is what, Ben, they can't. I mean, there are a lot of people who say they can't, right? They can't because let's look at what the administration is saying right now. They don't want to be the one to cross Trump. Look, my position is, let's show us all the evidence so we can come to our own conclusions.
I have names of the people. So I agree with you. That's fine. But in the absence of that, I have the names of the people who are making the claim that Jeffrey Epstein killed himself, and that the most gross, and sort of extreme of the conspiracy theories, just don't even call them conspiracy theories, the most sort of, extreme version of the theory is not true. I have names of the people who are claiming that. Okay, they are all in the administration. And this is my point. If other people want to make those claims that are counter to that, then they should provide evidence or at least put their names on it so we can question them about that as well, because otherwise we're just in the realm of pure speculation. And frankly, I just don't find that useful. I would love more useful information. This is why I'm angry at Pam Bondi. I think there should be all the useful information possible. But the same thing holds true for people who are making claims on the other side. Otherwise, I can claim that he was working for a cadre of space aliens who are blackmailing high-profile Americans in order to protect from a future invasion. And there's just about as much evidence for that as many of the claims that are being made on the other side.
All right, well, let's talk about that.
Have I mentioned how much I hate Ben Shapiro's beard? I hate that fucking beard for some reason, dude. It's the worst beard I've ever seen in my entire life.
Requires evidence. Any claim that's being made
the whole
requires
thing, the
actual
mustache
evidence.
too, all of it.
And
I
at the
hate
very
all of it.
least, in the absence of evidence, the credible names of the people that I can either trust or not trust, ranging from, again, the President of the United States and Vice President to the head of the FBI, the AG, and the Deputy Head of the FBI.
Well, I think it's very hard to say those people need to come out and put their names on these claims when they're working for an administration, this one and the one before, that didn't want that to come out. You're asking somebody to countermand the people they work for.
How am I supposed to falsify their claims? Now we're working in the realm of the unfalsifiable.
You're not, but look, Ben, you can't come to me and
That's
say,
right.
everybody I know says he killed himself. And then I respond saying, I actually have my own sources who say he didn't. And then you say, well, your sources are not valid because they won't put their names on it. Okay,
Well,
who are
no,
your
I'm not saying
sources?
they're
Let's go
invalid. I'm
down the
saying they
list
should-
and then we'll talk about why they might be saying that.
My sources are the President of the United States, the Vice President of the United States, Cash.
It looks like a fake beard. I don't know if it's fake. He might be doing some Just for Men shit, but it looks like it's fake because it looks like a child that would have a fake beard. That's why I think that's what it is. You know, like when you see like an 8-year-old who has like a painted on fake beard, that's what it looks like to me. It's terrible. Get rid of it, dude. Go back to the clean shaven look.
Patel, the head of the FBI, Dan Bongino, the deputy head of the FBI, and Pam Bondi, the attorney general. And those aren't just my sources. They're everybody's sources because they publicly came out and said this.
Okay, Trump hasn't specifically
the
weighed
eyebrows.
in on that.
Oh my God, you just pointed out the eyebrows. You're right. It's the eyebrows and the beard like don't match. It's like they pasted two different faces together. It's just oh my God.
Specific aspect of it. We've all seen the limited things that Trump has said and tweeted on this. And JD Vance was calling for transparency and suggesting otherwise prior to taking office. He hasn't commented on this so far, so he's not one of
somebody
your
should
sources.
ask him. He's the vice
you've
president.
Got Cash, you've got
ask.
Dan, and you've got Pam, and we've already discussed that memo in full detail. I'm talking about people behind the scenes who, prior to Trump taking office, I'm not going to get too specific, but trust me, I have high-level sources who have said they don't believe any of that. Any of that. Okay. So, and I'm not going to out them for purposes of convincing you, but you're telling me name them. No, I'm not going to. I don't have authorization.
I'm not saying
and then
no.
you say, well, I dismiss all of it because you won't name them.
Hold on, Megan, I'm not saying you should name them. I'm saying they should name themselves because otherwise they are being complicit in one of the greatest cover-ups in the history of the American
American
Republic.
That's easy for you to say, Ben. That's very easy for you to say.
Why is that easy for me to say? Why?
Because you'll have your job and you'll have your millions, no matter what they do.
Megan, give me a break. If somebody came out today and they were a whistleblower on the greatest scandal in the history of the American Republic, they would make more money tomorrow than in their entire life working for the FBI. That's ridiculous.
Okay, there are reasons not to cross the people who are in charge. And that's all I'm going to say. And look, this is me not having drawn a conclusion. I don't know what the truth is. I've been reporting in a way, I mean, I see you've taken a side that you've chosen to believe the story that's being offered, and that's fine. A lot of people have. I'm not there yet. I don't actively say that there's a pedophile ring. I don't say any of that. I'm just following the facts, and we're not at the place where I can draw that conclusion.
Well, no, I can draw the conclusion that the evidence that I'm seeing and the people who are speaking about it lead me toward.
I can't even listen to what he's saying. All I can do is look at this. Once you guys pointed out the eyebrows, Jesus, it's that's what it is, really. The beard, yeah, the beard's a problem because he looks like a child with a beard. But then, like the eyebrow, are they? What? I can't tell which is fake. Is the beard fake or is the eyebrows fake? I think the eyebrows are real because the eyebrows more matches like hair up here. What is going on here? Just shave the beard, Ben, and everything will be fine. Okay, just shave the beard.
Toward this particular conclusion. And if counter evidence is presented that is not speculative, then I will change my conclusion because that's what I've done on this case. Until this memo came out, I was weighing toward the more extreme version of this theory, and you can look back at my tweets and what I've said about it. And then this came out, and now my perspective has changed. So when the facts change and the people who are speaking,
I guess I'm just not that.
So when the government tells you something, you listen.
Trusting of government. There are other facts. They said not credible. No, there's no credible evidence. They talked about no.
That's a good catch. There's no credible evidence. So there's evidence, but it's not credible because it was created by the Obamas and the Bidens. It was the giant left-wing plot against Trump. I mean, that's not out of the realm of possibility, but that at this point, it's not believable. I can't buy it.
What was the qualifier they used on the client list? Something like no persuasive client list or something.
Megan, I'm not that trusting of government either, unless I know the exact people in government we're talking about.
Okay.
Like government is not just a giant.
All I've said so far is I trust Dan.
Blob. Government,
but do you believe that Dan has all the information? You believe Dan Bongino has everything? You believe he's seen all the SDNY had? You believe, what about Julie Brown's claims about the number of data, like the documents, the Department of Homeland Security?
She really doesn't want, I've noticed she doesn't want to say anything bad about Dan Bongino. I trust Dan. I really trust Dan. It's like, come on. Come on. Let's stop pretending like he's not fucking in on it too. Even though he's like trying to backtrack and be like, oh, I'm going to step down and all that. Probably because after the fact, he realized like his career is over and he needs to get back to podcasting. But he's just as much to blame as Kash Patel and Pam Bondi.
Flight logs on who was on his planes. Do you believe he has all that in his purview?
But ultimately, Trump is the one with the most blame for this.
And he's said, I've reviewed it all and none of it's persuasive. I don't believe that. I believe Dan's reviewed what's been made available to him by the pre-existing FBI. And in there...
You're right. Kiri says she looks so nice still, and she has become smarter. It's kind of good. Yeah, I'm surprised I'm turning around on her, because what she did to Alex, like when she worked for MSNBC for a little while, she did that hit piece on Alex where they filmed like 3 days worth of fucking content. Then they edited it up to make Alex look real creepy, and they gave him the bad lighting. It took me a while to forgive her for that, and I still really haven't. But damn, I don't know, man. Something about blondes, you know? It's easy to forgive a hot blonde.
He hasn't come up with anything that proves Epstein was murdered or found some child pedophile ring that's been covered up. That's fine. I'll accept his word and effectively Cash's word and Pam's word to some extent on that. But it doesn't explain all these other questions that existed prior to them taking office, that have been raised by people like Julie Brown, that have been raised by people like Pam Bondi before today.
Sorry, not MSNBC. She worked for NBC. Same thing.
And I'm not satisfied.
Again, I'm unsatisfied at the amount of information that we're getting. But if the question is there information being hidden now from Dan or Cash or Pam, then I would like evidence that there's information hidden from them in the same way that I want them to be more transparent. Why is asking for evidence from all sides?
Well, are you not persuaded by that soundbite from Julie K. Brown, for example? Like that DHS would have more.
You want evidence that there's nothing? Provide us evidence that there's nothing. I mean,
that FBI
just release the files, for fuck's sake. It's not complicated here. Release everything you have. Transparency, not complicated.
Just on their vault alone has tons and tons of redacted information that you could see that they may or may not be able to see. I don't know, but that there's lots of information still out there.
She's claiming that quote that the FBI does have all that information.
Okay, so do you think she's lying? I mean, do you think that like the redactions are not available to the FBI?
I think the redactions are available to the FBI. So what? You were making the claim a moment ago that they actually are not available to Pam or Dan.
Well, that's my point. So why don't they put them out? So like, why wouldn't they come out and say, here are the documents that we have. We've redacted the following information. This is a child's name. This is a victim's name. Where's the DHS account of who was on the Epstein plane? Where's the Alan Dershowitz account of those names that I gave you and what role, if any, they played in this matter? So, none of that's been provided.
I agree with you. They should be more transparent.
Right, and we've taken away different conclusions.
Right. Your conclusion is that they're covering something up, and my conclusion is that there's wild incompetence happening at the level of the Attorney General, and that's the reason why Dan is upset.
I think you're.
Yeah, blame it all on Bondi. She's a perfect scapegoat. Blame it all on her.
Trusting the conclusions of that memo and a decision made by our administration to move past this far too much. I mean, I'm pro-Trump. I'm a Trump supporter, but I think they've made a decision that they want to put this in the rear view. You think it's because there's absolutely no there, and you're crediting that claim. And I have doubts about whether that's true.
I mean, that's fine. And again, I'm open to doubts about whether that's true. But I think that once you have the doubts about whether they are lying to you, that's a different thing. Is it incompetence or lying? I mean, that really is the question, is it not?
You don't think even the Trump administration is capable of lying to the public because they think it's for the greater good? They think there's a solid reason to do it?
There's no way that fucking not releasing the files is for the greater good. There's no way. There's no way. It's for the greater good if it's you personally not being fucking, found out for some of the shit you went through, but that's not the greater good. That's your personal good. I wonder tomorrow, like, what are we going to see tomorrow? Is it going to be more attacking, or is everybody going to finally start? Because I have a feeling at some point, everybody's going to try to move past this. We may see MAGA try to like rally around Trump again. I wonder if that's going to happen, or if it's just completely over.
I'm wondering what they are lying about and what the lies would be. So again, I think in your middle scenario,
but you just answer my question. Do you think they're capable of doing it if they think it's for the greater good?
I think anybody is capable of lying if they think that it's for the greater good, of course. But I think that in order to answer the question of whether they are doing that, we would have to determine what greater good is being pursued and what the lie is. I think all of this is a little vague.
Well, that's why some of us are still asking questions. I'm not in the business of covering for any administration, Republican or not.
Megan, not all the questions are the same. Asking a question about whether all the information has been released because there are figures who would be publicly humiliated because they were riding on Epstein's plane, but there's no evidence the person was raping a child, is not quite the same thing as some of the more outstanding claims, which is that the administration is covering up full scale for a child sex operation.
It's not a claim at this point, dude. To say that that's just like some wild claim, it's like, no, this is reality. We're seeing it right in front of our fucking faces, dude.
Right? Not all questions.
Okay, that's fine. That's a debate you need to have with somebody else because no one on this set is.
Ben is not even a good debater. He's not
claiming that. All right, let's move on to point 2, which is whether he was some sort of an agent, and that's a possible reason why he got a sweetheart plea deal, and or why to this day people aren't that interested in digging deep under the Jeffrey Epstein story. So there's a lot of speculation about this. You mentioned Tucker. I'll just play what he said at Turning Point, and we can take it from there.
What the hell is this? You have the former Israeli prime minister living in your house.
She's going to make Ben watch this.
You have had all this contact with the foreign government. Were you working on behalf of Mossad? Were you running a blackmail operation on behalf of foreign government?
And there's another one, SOT 3. Play that, follow up.
And I think the truth, for whatever it's worth, in case you're interested, is that the DOJ didn't release lots of incriminating sex videos with Epstein and his billionaire pals because they don't have them. They don't have them because when the original search warrant was served, 2007, I think, it was basically designed to protect Epstein. The search warrant was written in such a way to make sure that the feds never got their hands on the actually incriminating evidence. The real question is, why was he doing this, on whose behalf, and where did the money come from? And I think the real answer is Jeffrey Epstein was working on behalf of intel services, probably not American. And no one has ever gotten to the bottom of that because no one has ever tried. It's extremely obvious to anyone who watches that this guy had direct connections to a foreign government. Now, no one's allowed to say that that foreign government is Israel because we have been somehow cowed.
I can't wait to see what Ben says.
Into thinking that that's naughty. There is nothing wrong with saying that. There's nothing anti-Semitic about saying that. There's nothing even anti-Israel about saying that. I've spent my entire life pretty much in Washington, where I knew and loved a number of people, including one very close person who worked at CIA. That has never prohibited me from saying, I think the CIA has done some horrible things. That doesn't make me a disloyal American. It doesn't make me anti-American in any sense.
Okay, so many people believe that. You could hear the cheers in the audience when he said he believes Epstein was working for Mossad. I, on my Twitter feed today, laid out some of the evidence why people believe he was an agent. I don't know whether that's true. And if he was an agent, I don't know whether he was ours or he was Mossad or he was something else. But I know there's enough to sniff around on whether he was an agent. The most persuasive piece of which is, where to get all that money. I mean, nobody's been able to answer the question in following the money of how Jeffrey Epstein earned all that dough. Why is it problematic for Tucker to say, I think he was an agent, I think he worked for Mossad?
Convert 313 super chatted $3.27. At the end of day, both they were not hired to run cover operations against the American people, or conduct pedo rings, they've gone rogue.
This is what was always going to happen, dude. This is what Eisenhower fucking warned about. You know, the military-industrial complex. It's like we almost, after, what was it, World War II? World War II, I think we disbanded the OSS. And like they were smart enough to know, like, this is not a good thing to keep around. It's going to become, like, it's going to take over. But then they gave into it and created the CIA and put all the OSS people there. And it's like, this was always what was going to happen, dude. And that's why all this shit needs to be disbanded. It all needs to be disbanded, dude. Because it's not serving our interests anymore. It's actively harming the American people.
I mean, Tucker can say whatever he wants. It's a free country. I think that if he
say, oh, we blackmailed him for you. Don't you know, when we blackmailed them, it was for the American people, so we could help the American people be safer. I'm sure there's some cope like that at the end of the day.
Saying that he worked for Mossad and that no one has looked into it and that he was running a child sex ring on behalf of Mossad and the evidence should exist for that to happen, then just say the administration is covering for Mossad. I mean, if you're that certain of it.
Yeah, they're all saying that. That's what he's saying, dumbass.
And you believe that that's the case, then presumably the case that you're making is that the administration is now working for Mossad and covering up a child sex ring. So he can say that, that's fine. But I think he should then have the balls to say what Dave Smith said, which is that the Trump administration was covering for a child sex ring that was a blackmail scheme run by Mossad. If you want to actually say that, then say it. Okay. And then provide evidence to that effect. Because the only evidence that I've seen related to Jeffrey Epstein and Mossad, so far as I am aware, is a second-hand quote from Vicky Ward at the Daily Beast, who I do not consider a verifiable source, about Alex Azar, the original prosecutor.
She was on Epstein
the
from the beginning, though.
I mean, her being on Epstein from the beginning doesn't mean she's a credible source. She ran for the Daily Beast, and she was arguing about a person who
She
said
worked for Vanity
secondhand
Fair.
aid her. Yes. So what? Vanity Fair is a shitty publication. Who cares?
I'm just saying, that's fine.
Trying to discredit her before you even, hear what she has to say.
Fine. You can dislike Vicky Ward. I'm not running a defense for her.
No, but the point is that the Alex Azar quote that she is making is not even from Alex Azar. It is
Alex
a secondhand
Acosta.
anonymous quote. Thank you. Sorry. Alex Acosta, the prosecutor who ended up being labor secretary. Alex Acosta, that quote was not from Alex Acosta. It was from a secondhand source. And that said that he was told to shut down the investigation essentially because he was working for an intelligence agency. Right. That was that quote. And then
let me just give it exactly. I'll just give it exactly because we need to be precise.
You do that.
So she reported in Vanity Fair. Well, she reported for Vanity Fair like a definitive Epstein article, and then she updated it in the Daily Beast in 2019 when I think it was after Epstein died, or it could have been when Trump nominated him.
It's probably when they did the investigation into the
no, it had to be
Acosta
exactly
pardon, right or the
so she updated. He was already in office, Acosta at this point. So she reported that. Stand by. I tweeted out. Now I'm looking to find it. Okay. That she had spoken with a member of the Trump transition team when Trump was taking office, who told her that when they talked to Acosta about possibly becoming the labor secretary, they said, is this Epstein thing, this settlement that you oversaw, going to be a problem for us? Because
Ben's sister is kind of hot.
Yeah. No fucking doubt about it. She is really fucking hot.
For the guy who
is she still hot though? That's the question. Did she? I mean, because she looked like she had the potential to really blow up, if you know what I'm saying. But yeah, the pictures I saw back in the day, damn. What was her name again? Something Shapiro, I forget.
They gave him that slap.
She got married and had kids. Good for her.
On the wrist. And
I think she
that
did.
Acosta had told the Trump transition team that Epstein, quote, belonged to intelligence, end quote, and that he'd been ordered to, quote, leave it alone, end quote, and that he'd, quote, been told to back off. He later was on the record, Ben, as saying Maine Justice was the one who told him to settle that case and that they had approved of the Epstein plea deal. So that's him. We know that Maine Justice did tell Alex Acosta to settle that case. What we don't know is whether he in fact said all that stuff to the Trump transition team.
Well, he was asked about this at a hearing, I believe, a congressional hearing, and he said that there are a lot of rumors out there and you shouldn't believe everything you read. I believe was something close to the direct quote from the congressional.
We have it. We have it,
yeah,
right, Deb? Do we have? Sorry, stand by.
Okay, so in case you guys aren't following, this is the Acosta guy who was like an attorney, a U.S. attorney in Florida, and remember they went light on Epstein on the first what was it, like 2008, 2009, the first time he went down for fucking kids, and they told him like to lay off because he was an intelligence asset essentially, and I guess at some point he must have been called to Congress to to a hearing or something. I didn't know about that.
We have it on camera. It was first asked, it was a press conference on July 10th, 2019. This is the first we know of that he was asked about Vicky Ward's report. Watch.
Secretary, were you ever made aware at any point in your handling of this case if Mr. Epstein was an intelligence asset of some sort?
So there has been reporting to that effect. And let me say, there's been reporting to a lot of effects in this case, not just now, but over the years. And again, I would hesitate to take this reporting as fact. This was a case that was brought by our office. It was brought based on the facts. And I look at that reporting and others. I can't address it directly because of our guidelines. But I can tell you that a lot of reporting is just going down.
So he's actually it seems like he's not denying or confirming. This is a very political answer, it tells us fucking nothing. Actually makes me more suspicious that he probably regrets saying that to the reporter or wherever the fuck that original quote came from.
Down rabbit holes.
I'm sorry, but that's a non-denial denial.
Yeah, exactly, Megan. This is why I like you, Megan. Because you're smart. Very pretty.
He never came out to deny it in any other way after Vicky Ward reported it. I'm not persuaded by his denial at all. He did later tell the Office of Professional Responsibility within the DOJ when he was asked during an investigation that he did not say that to the Trump transition team. So later, outside of the public setting, he reportedly did deny Vicky Ward's reporting. But I have questions about that too, because that's the Department of Justice investigating itself. And under this theory that Epstein was compromised and the DOJ knew it, the DOJ would have been.
Clearly, if he said it and he leaked that Epstein was an intelligence agent, clearly it was a mistake. And now he's got to fucking roll it back. So, yeah, I don't know.
And the one to tell Alex Acosta to drop it. And then the DOJ would have been sitting down with Alex Acosta saying, did we tell you to drop it or didn't we? So I can see why people have doubts about that later testimony. Again, I don't know what's true, but that's a very weaselly answer he just gave at that presser.
True.
I mean, that's fair to say it's a weaselly answer. It's also fair to say that the original quote was never confirmed by anybody on the record, correct? So,
yes,
I mean, like, at the very best,
correct.
that one is it's dicey. I mean, like, I think the best you can say about that particular claim is dicey, both for and against, right? And I see why you can take away either.
What about the other claim of Barack Ahoud or whatever, the ex-Israel prime minister, who spent a lot of time with Epstein? You know, like Tucker said, he was staying at Epstein's house. They were like business partners, and this was after he was convicted of being a pedophile. What about that evidence?
Their conclusion.
There's
yes?
also,
I mean, is that fair?
Yes. But I mean, look, there's also the matter, like I said, of the money, and there's also the question of
money's super suspicious. But I think that's really.
Convert 313 super chatted $3.27 is conducting psychological warfare. Let's not forget the weaponization by all agencies to get Whitey, pending enforcement, sick.
Yeah, it does seem like there's some sort of. It's hard to explain, but it almost seems like every time we put people in power and all the intelligence agencies, like everybody that's pulling the strings is doing the exact opposite of what you would do if you actually wanted to do something good for this country. So it's weird. It is almost like they're, that's where the whole globalist, New World Order conspiracy comes in, where it's like, maybe they want to kind of make life hard for us, so we're willing to join this sort of global fucking order, and they'll be like, oh yeah, I know you can't afford food, so come join our global order, and I don't know. But they definitely it seems like they want to take down America. Feels like it.
More about Leon Black signing him a check for like $160 million for unspecified financial services, right? And then Leon
everybody
Black
wants to know
claimed
why.
that he had. Right, exactly.
But then, let me just make this other point, then I'll give you the floor. Then I'll give you the floor. There's this former Israeli intel guy named Ari Ben Menash.
Well, he claims he is. The Israelis say he's not, correct?
Yeah, this is the guy, like, I don't know about this guy's story, because he says he's ex-Mossad, but then Mossad, of course, says, oh, there's no record of him ever being Mossad. But, so it's like, what do you believe? Do you believe that is this guy making it up to sell books, or is Mossad just trying to cover? This is where it's like so fucking hard to decide what's real or not.
Well, that was litigated, and actually, if you look up this guy's Wikipedia, it's actually quite interesting.
It's wild.
But
he's a wild character.
It appears he was. And there was this whole long trial in which they tried to disown him, and it failed. They failed. So I think he is former Israeli intel, and this guy has come out to say Epstein was a Mossad agent, and that this Ari Ben Menash, was the agent who handled him. Others, including Danny Yatom.
He's getting cooked by Meghan right now, dude. Hey, Ben, facts don't care about your feelings, okay?
Who ran the Mossad for 3 years, say that's not true. And this morning we had Naftali Bennett come out publicly as a former Israeli prime minister saying, I was with the Mossad. And I mean, the Mossad reported directly to me, and I say to you with 100% certainty, the accusation that Epstein worked for Israel or the Mossad running a blackmail ring is categorically and totally false.
Well, I mean, I actually followed up with Bennett to ask for more clarification on that. And what he actually told me is that Mossad has not run an operative against the United States or in the United States since Jonathan Pollard was convicted in 1987, because Israel really wants to steer clear of pissing off the United States.
Yeah, and they totally admitted if they did, right? They totally just fucking admitted, right?
So
well, there's some speculation about whether Epstein wasn't an agent, but was like an asset.
So, right. So asset is a really weird word in terms
Don't pretend like you don't know what asset means, dude.
Of intel, because he was also accused of being an asset for both the Saudis and MI6, right?
I think he was like a contractor. I seriously think like he was the guy. You know, hey, we need a blackmail. Oh, get old Jeffrey on it. You know, he was an asset in that way.
So there are multiple intelligence agencies for whom he could theoretically have been considered an asset. Asset is not necessarily, by the legal definition, somebody who is like working for a foreign government. It could be.
Wait, what? So if you're an asset of Mossad, you're not working for the Israeli government? What? Really, Ben?
Be somebody who is giving information to a foreign government under a wide variety of auspices. And so, you know, that's a lot vaguer. What we do know from, what we do know from the public statements is that he was not working for an American intelligence agency. The Israelis say he wasn't working for them. Now, one of the weird sort of unfalsifiable aspects of this case is that if Mossad says somebody's not working for them, are they or are they not? Right. So usually,
well,
so
same with our intel.
Well, right, exactly. And so this is kind of my problem with this case and why I keep begging for more, same as you, more transparency, more evidence. I tend to believe that the DOJ and FBI are correct in their evidentiary presentation. You tend to not. But I think that we're coming to the same conclusion, which is release everything you got, because I don't think anybody should be afraid of the answers.
Okay.
Since President Trump was sworn in, his administration.
All right, Ben. That's cool. In honor of Ben Shapiro, we're going to play my classic Alex Jones versus Ben Shapiro video. And we'll end it on that one. But yeah.
Right, I've been ripping on
it. This just makes me want to watch this. Just for old time's sake. Oop. Hold on. Gotta fucking minimize this. Here we go. Some of you guys might remember this. Let's watch this for old time's sake. Oh, you don't bring the live streaming one. Why did you put them together? Jesus Christ. Exit split screen, maybe? Okay, there we go. Get my live stream back over here. I don't know, fucking browser acting weird. Yeah, here's the old school fucking Ben Shapiro versus Alex Jones. I was still, dude, I would have been so happy to see these guys actually get in the same room and have a debate. That would have been wonderful. But they still have never done it because Ben Shapiro is always ducking Alex. Ben Shapiro will not give Alex the time of day. And it's about time now, Ben. It's time that you sat down with Alex Jones and you guys had it out. All right?
Right, I've been ripping on InfoWars. I don't think InfoWars is a trustworthy source of information by and large.
You're in my business, Shapiro. I'm in your business now. I might just drive up to Cisco this weekend. Take a few.
This is another funny antidote to this video is that the InfoWars crowd got really mad that I used the children's music over every time Alex talked. They got really upset about that. And it wasn't meant to be an insult to Alex. It's just because it fit. It made the video better to add the fucking children's music over Alex. But they were like, no, you think Alex is a joke. You're trying to make fun of him. Fucking InfoWars people, man. You guys need to lighten the fuck up sometimes.
Army officers with me and have a conversation with the billionaires that are financing you. Maybe show them some files, Shapiro. Want that? Think you do. I think I'll do it. I think I'll get in your business. You know what happens when I get in people's businesses, boy? They ain't in business long, son. You like what I did to your daddy, Beck? He really did it to himself, didn't he? But we told everybody what he was. So you want to be in a man's world, son?
We need this Alex back. We need this Alex back, and we need him going after Trump like this, dude. This is what we need back.
I took on Hillary Clinton with my audience, and we kicked her butt. She's coming after me right now. I'm in a man's world, son. I'm self-made. You couldn't do a damn thing. He couldn't come up with $1.
Alex Jones is he's a crazy person. He's a crazy human, okay? And I don't mean that in a clinical sense. I just mean that I look at him and what? So, and I don't think that I'm out of bounds in saying this. If you spend any time listening to Alex Jones, this is not somebody who seems like all of the lights are on in the attic, shall we say.
I can't help it. I'm coming after you. That's it. I'm in total war mode. You want to fight? All of you got one to the end. I love it. That said, you just think all us conservatives, libertarians, and Christians are a bunch of dumbasses because we're not snakes like you. You can just waltz in here and take control of our movements. You can't. The people know fake when they see it. And you're fake. I'm in your business. You got in mind, buddy. You threw the first punch. You're going to get it now. I put up with years of crap from this guy. And you can attack me and lie about me all day, but you don't get involved in my operations. You understand that, you skunk? I know the counterfeit's always got to get rid of the real McCoy. You're not getting rid of me, son. People a lot smarter and a lot tougher tried. As long as God wants me here, I'm going to be here.
Yesterday, there was an announcement by Alex Jones that Candace Owens and Kanye West were going to appear on his show. And I tweeted out, no, God, no, basically, right? No, Kanye, no.
You want to fight? You got one. I love how you talk to Kanye West like he's a dog. No. You don't go on that show. No. Shapiro, the devastating person with a 5,000 IQ, who personally severed him.
I forgot. We got Kanye West with and Jesse Lee Peterson. It's a funny clip. We'll get to that one next. So this ain't going to be the last one.
Hitler's head and is actually an immortal god, the ultimate intellectual, the king of earth. And now you're in my business again, trying to tell people not to come on my show. I'm about to get in your business big time, you little arrogant son of a bitch. Now go back to California, go back to Los Angeles, where you came from. You think I'm stupid because I'm from Texas? You don't think I don't know everything about you, bro? And now you slide in all slick to the West Texas folks. You tell them how they're all going to be down there. Why, I bet you even wear some spurs when you come to town, don't you there, Mr. Shapiro? On a fast talk us all, teach us all how the world does work, don't you? That's good. How about you get on your little horsey there and ride your ass back out of town, son? Because you're going to burn down just like Beck, because you're going to destroy yourself. So let it be written, so let it be done. Get behind me, Satan. We should pray for Ben Shapiro to find Christ.
Don't do it. Don't go out and don't do Alex's show. Alex is a crazy person, right? Alex Jones is a nut job. Alex Jones is a guy who thinks that the frogs are being turned gay purposefully by the government.
But they are.
Alex Jones is a guy who suggests...
Come on, Ben. Do some research on atrazine, bro. Just do a little research, Ben.
Said that Sandy Hook was a false flag operation.
Whatever you say, Shapiro. Yes, Mr. Shapiro. Oh, God, you're so manly. That face you make, you scare me. God almighty, you might tear my arm out of my socket. You might skull, annihilate me. You're powerful. You got the manhood I want, Shapiro.
This was the greatest time to ever exist on the internet. This period of time. It was the best.
Shapiro's too powerful!
This was when Alex was actually still on YouTube. And this was the gems we were getting.
Oh! So, prepare yourself, rodent creature, like a rat. When you turn on the lights at 2 a.m. to go get a glass of milk, and there's the rat up there eating the fruit out of the fruit bowl and the cheese. It's crapping all over your kitchen table. It just scrabbles, but it slicks out in its own feces. It kind of falls off and hits the ground, and by then your foot goes right on it. And you're like, oh, I'm going to really have mercy on you. But you only break 2 of its legs politically, metaphysically. And then
you remember that? You remember when Alex used to always have these like violent fucking threats, but then he'd like add politically, metaphysically. Oh man, God, come on, YouTube. When are you gonna bring Alex back?
You step back, it's scrabbling you. I'm not gonna hurt you anymore. You look at your big old tabby cat and you say, Ace, get that rat. I've been waiting for you to make the wrong move, scumbag. Now you're in major target. Just like Beck. Submarine wolf packs prepare. Little vampire bat.
My favorite part is when he just stops and just like for a split second he just stares at the camera. And then he goes to his... I don't know what it is. It's such good fucking television, dude. It's such... Imagine if this guy was president for 8 years. I mean, look, if we're not going to get the Epstein files, can we at least get Alex Jones as president of the United States for 8 years?
Lands on your nightstand, flies through the open window. You wake up, you see a little greedy vampire bat dragging its tiny proboscis on the ground between its little legs. You see it moving towards you.
Alex Jones got very angry at me for saying that Kanye West should not do his show because it would be a bad move for Kanye West. Okay, Kanye right now is trying to do the whole let's have a reasonable conversation with reasonable people. Let's all get together. Why would he want to fringe himself out by going on Alex Jones' show? Now, Kanye West would easily be seen as a guy who had fringed himself out the minute that he went on Alex Jones. So if his goal is to open doors, I think he closes doors by doing Alex Jones' show. That was my basic argument. It's the reason why I would never do Alex Jones' show, because I think that Alex Jones, again...
See how much better he looks with no beard? You got to go back to the no beard thing, dude.
And is a kook and a fringe fellow.
Why is Ben Shapiro so angry at me? Why is he always trying to put me down? Why is he always talking about how I'm so evil and sounding like some leftist and telling Candace Owens and Kanye West, don't come on his show? Why is he doing that? Ben Shapiro is a Judas goat to control the movement. A neocon. So there you go. That's why this is happening. He's super intellectual. He's super smart. He's your leader. He's the leader like Lynn Beck was. Here's the deal, Ben. I understand you're super intellectual and like no one knows who you are outside of Twitter and YouTube, but you think you're like God. I know you think like you're like super Machiavellian and everything, and you got investors, that from Israel, nothing against Israel, but they're buying up Glenn Beck and everything. You don't think I don't know about everything that happened with Glenn Beck?
Yeah, this is when him and Glenn Beck were going to war too. They're friends now. They made up.
And what was set up with Glenn Beck? How about I tell everything, Shapiro? How about I dump it all on here? Oh, I know you are so smart, Shapiro. You act so tough. I'm awful. You're awful. No one should come on you. I tell people who go on. I am the boss. This leftist entitlement of this Glenn Beck retread, the reboot of the failed Beck Judas goat, attack the conservative movement, try to lead it into the pits, is now back in the, I guess, in the form of the herpes of Glenn Beck. What is the herpes of Glenn Beck? In my view, it has been Shapiro. A fetid, scrofulous, diseased, viral infection that continues.
I do hate that I reuse the same music because I got lazy. So I listen back, it's like the music's great, but then it's like it overplays its hand. I should have changed it up more, but it fits so well. Continues
to bloom and bloom and bloom and bloom. Then Shapiro is the herpes on our ass. You're awful. No one should go on your show. You're awful. Well, if it's awful, leave. Oh, I know. The Democrats are suing me. Soros is, all the rest of it. And you're there making sure, don't go to him. I'm in charge. I'm Ben Shapiro. I run things. Me. The amazing Shapiro.
He was so mad because this was like before, I think 2017. Remember like when Kanye was just starting to get involved with politics and he was like saying he loves Trump and all that. And Candace Owens was going to bring Kanye on the show with Alex. And then, Ben Shapiro was like, no, Kanye, you're going to fringe yourself out. It's like, little did you know, Kanye would then end up writing NHH. So, yeah, I don't think going on Alex Jones would have changed the trajectory of Kanye.
What a joke. I haven't set my guns on you yet because your lord and master Beck already sunk his ship, and you will sink your ship as well, young one. No need to do that, baby Sith.
I can't understand it. Look at this. Look what's underneath here. It's another shirt. Why? Why?
All right, that was a good try at doing an Alex impression, but you're just screaming. You're not even getting the Southern accent down. His impression of you, Ben, is fucking spot on. So you lose the impression battle, okay? Alex blows you away. Because Alex actually sounds like Ben. And Ben's like just screaming. Not an impression, Ben.
I'm not going to be on some goddamn Satanist island with a bunch of fucking steak.
I threw this one at the end just because it was just crazy. It doesn't even fit anything. He's not even talking about Ben here, but I'm like, let me just throw this one at the end. It's a good way to finish it.
Everybody else is fucking dead. You think I want to be with these goddamn vampires forever? Fuck no! So come up, man! Get to the surface! Get to the fucking surface! These fucking people think they've won, they haven't. And they just now realize we're waking up. So fuck them! And fuck them forever!
Oh, man. We need this Alex back, dude. Alex, you gotta, I don't know. Obviously, don't drink. No drinking, right? But more characters, more feuds with people. You got right now, just go to war with Trump. That's what we need. Take this energy into the war with Trump, bro. That's what I think. So yeah, Kanye West was on He wasn't on Jesse Lee Peterson's show. He went to the church. So I don't know, maybe there is another clip where he's on the show, but this is the one I found where like Kanye's just in the in the crowd at the church, and then Jesse Lee Peterson starts asking him questions about anger and so I watched very little of it, so I don't know where it goes. But somebody told me to play this, so let's play it.
Thank you.
Get a mic to the young man next to you.
Yes, sir.
Do you have anger?
Yeah, I think I'm the walking, living embodiment of anger.
And this is Kanye. And the little bit I've heard of this is the most rational and like humble I've ever heard Kanye in my entire life.
I can't hear you. What'd you say?
Yes.
Speak up for me.
Yes.
What'd you say?
Yes, I do have anger.
You do. Why don't you drop your anger?
Yeah, that's what I'm learning here.
Oh yeah, definitely AJ needs to bring the beard back. You're right, MKO. He needs the full beard. It's a good
You're
look.
learning what?
To drop the anger.
And so what is this your first time here?
Yes.
And what's your name and how did you hear about us?
My name is Jay. I heard about you from Hassan.
Right on. Any questions first about anything that you've heard?
So it looks like maybe Kanye's getting back into his religion shit again. I think that's good. I think it'd be good if Kanye got back into being about Jesus again.
Heard or anything? Or working on yourself and all that?
No.
Okay. Why don't you drop the anger?
Oh, I'm deciding to do that after hearing this.
Oh. What would happen to you if you had no anger?
I could be used by God more.
That's for sure. Do you know where your anger came from? How did you become angry?
Just different events throughout my life that I felt didn't add up, where 2 + 2 didn't equal 4. And the answer to why it didn't happen was just somebody just shrugging their shoulders.
Is he talking about the Jews again? Or is he talking about like his management, and him getting ripped off by his management? Is that what he's talking about?
The last thing you say, what?
The answer to why the simple math didn't add up or it didn't go my way is that someone just looked at me and shrugged their shoulders.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
What has Hassan told you need to forgive your mother? Your anger came from her?
No, I didn't hear that before today.
Are you serious? He didn't tell you that. What? No. You're never going to be free until you forgive your mother. You become just like her.
Oh, shit.
You become like what you hate, and the thoughts and the emotions and all that is hers. That's why God said that all who...
I like Jesse Lee Peterson, but this is nothing like any church I've ever been to. I grew up Catholic, so this is not the kind of shit that happens in Catholic church.
who were born of the woman must be born of the Father. So you got to forgive her for what she done to you when you were a little kid, impose her will on you, too mothering, too dominating, turning away from your father. You must go to her. It's when you can see that I do have this anger. I'm just like my mother. And you go to her, hey, mother, I'm sorry for resenting you. You recreated me in your image, and I can't help myself. I'm just like you. I'm sorry for resenting you, and God will forgive you. Don't ask for forgiveness. You got to admit that you're wrong for judging. Anyone that has anger judges, and anyone that judges play God, and you will never know God. You'll know about him. You hear about him, you'll talk about him, but you won't know him. But you got to face your mother and forgive her.
Is it always the I mean, look, I agree with what he's saying, but it's not 100%, is it? I mean, what if you were raised by your father and there was no mother around, and your father was just an angry dude? Oh yeah, but then he'd probably be angry because of his mother. But what if he didn't have a mother and his mother died at birth? Well, it's because of the mother's mother's mother. I don't know. I get what he's saying, but you can't apply this across the board 100%.
And your father for not protecting you from your mother?
Okay, yeah, there we go.
He didn't know how to deal with the hell in her. He loved you. He just didn't know how to deal with the hell in your mother because he married his mother.
How do you know all this about Ye? You just know all this? Are you a medium now? Are you a fucking medium? This is weird. I don't know. I would be put off by this type of church. Like, oh, you know everything about me? Oh, okay. So what?
Your mother became his mother, and the cycle repeats itself. So you got to forgive him for not protecting you from her.
I don't know. Did Ye not have a father? I thought Ye had a father that was like I thought Ye had a father. I don't know. I don't follow Ye that closely to know his whole family background. But maybe he knows. Maybe he knows Ye's family background. That's where he's coming from.
What do you think about that?
Yeah, CWG. Yeah. It is very common in the black community, but I would think you would ask some questions first and be like, were you raised by a single mom? And then they say yes. And then, then you can go forward with this line of communication. But maybe he already knew, right?
I was digesting that from what people was talking about when they were talking earlier. I thought that was, I think, I like this really stern black and white approach.
Yeah.
And it may, or I feel that I see clarity in it.
Right on. Right. And if you could see it a little bit, that God is allowing you to see it. I can't make you see it. No one here can make you see it. Only God allows those to see it who want to see it. He doesn't let everybody see it because most people don't want to see it. Most people love their misery. They love their thrills. They love their hell.
I agree with that.
One last quick question, then I got to move on. Who are you?
He's Kanye, dude. I wonder if Jesse knew it was Kanye.
I think of a lot of things when you ask that. I come up with a lot of different answers.
Okay, and give me those answers, some of them.
I'm Picasso.
I'm a son, I'm a father, I'm a king, I'm a student, I'm a teacher, I'm a husband, I'm a leader. Those are the things that come to mind. Yeah.
So those are the things you do, but who are you?
I just keep hearing the Who song.
You name me all the stuff you do.
Can I cheat off his test?
What a mess. No cheating here, buddy.
Ask him about whether he really sucked his cousin off. Ask him about that. I think that might be, some trauma that needs to be dealt with here.
You told me what you do, and you have kids, what you have, and all that other stuff, but you didn't tell me who you are. Who are you?
I don't know what answer you're looking. I don't know how to answer that.
Did you know you didn't know who you really are? Before now?
Yeah, I must have been looking for something. That's why I pulled up to church, to the meeting.
So you didn't know that you didn't know who you are. Before now, you didn't know who you are. You don't know yourself. You don't know who you are.
Yeah, I think I have those titles like when you're talking about school earlier and people go to school and then I forgot you were talking with her about it earlier, and people go to get degrees to define themselves.
I'm a doctor. I'm a lawyer. I'm a therapist. I'm the president. Okay, but who are you? That's what you do, dummy. But who are you? People don't know who they are. That's why they're lost. What is it like? Last question, then I got to go here. What is it like?
Well, then how do you know who you are then, Jesse? No one, give him at least a chance, explain who we are, Jesse. You're the one that knows. This is why I don't go to church.
Like living a life not knowing who you are. What is it like living that way?
It's like my navigation today is kept rerouting.
What a mess. Any questions or anything?
Yeah, who are you, Jesse? Answer
Where'd
that
you
question.
get that shirt from? I want to get one of those.
I love this shirt. It was a gift. Someone gave it to me. You want it, you can have it. You want it?
Oh, not
I'll give
right
it to
now,
you
but
after-
like later. I think.
I'll give it to you after the meeting, you can have it. Amazing.
Had to get the catchphrase in there.
So any other question or anything? Oh, did Hassan tell you to do the silent prayer so you can learn to be still and let God take over?
No, he didn't tell me that either.
Why haven't you told him these things?
Bro, he's here. I'm having you tell him.
But you are the light too. You just said we're brothers. Christ, we're brothers, you know, and you know the truth, and this is your friend. Why haven't you told him the truth or point the way toward the truth to him? Why have you done that? I really want to know.
No, you're right.
No, that was the question.
Sorry, I don't know. It's overwhelming, you know. It's a lot, you know. It's like this is.
I guess that's interesting. Someone pointed out. He's like, oh, Kanye and Jesse. I was thinking that they did an episode together. Maybe they will. Maybe we'll see Jesse Lee Peterson interviewing Kanye. That would be amazing. I can't do a fucking Jesse Lee Peterson impersonation, but I don't know. I thought that was worth checking out. Oh boy, it sounds like Ye's like he's in a humble place where he's trying to find himself and improve himself as a man, and that's good. That's good. So, props. Anyway, guys, y'all have a wonderful night. We'll see you on the next episode. We'll see you tomorrow. Hope you guys all are doing well. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for all the support and all the likes. We got to 127. If you haven't hit the like yet, go ahead and give it a little soft touch and let it know you like it. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. We'll see you on the next one. All right. Take care.
Please subscribe and hit the like and ring that bell if you want notified. Here's some other videos to watch that you might like or you might not. Have a great day, my internet friend. I hope I'll see you once again. Please subscribe and hit the like and ring that bell if you want notified. Have a great day, my internet friend. I hope I'll see you once again. Please subscribe and hit the like and ring that bell if you want notified.